श्रीजगन्नाय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि। ऐगिरि नन्दिनि नन्दित मेधिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दनुते गिरिवरविन्द शिरोधिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते भगवति वेशिति कण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते।
ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹಸ್ತಮುದ್ರೆಯು ಕತೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ಭಾವನೆಯು ಹೃದಯದ ಭಾವವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ನೃತ್ಯವು ಕೇವಲ ಒಂದು ಕಲೆ ಮಾತ್ರವಲ್ಲ, ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೂ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೂ ಆನಂದವನ್ನು ನೀಡುವ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವನ್ನು ನೀಡುವ ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತ ವ್ಯಾಯಾಮವಾಗಿದೆ. ಕಣ್ಮನ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ಸೊಗಸಾದ ನೃತ್ಯದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಅದ್ಭುತ ಚಾಲನೆ ನೀಡಿದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗರಂಜನಿ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ರವರಿಗೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಗಣ್ಯರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ BC ಅವರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಹಾಗೂ ಗೌರವ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಮೊಹಸಿನ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ BL ಸುಜಾತಾ ರಾಥೋಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರೇಮಾ ಧನರಾಜ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಇದಲ್ಲದೆ RGUHSನ ಕುಲಸಚಿವರಾದ ಅರ್ಜುನ್ ಒಡೆಯಾರ್ ಅವರು ಹಾಗೂ ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಕುಲಸಚಿವರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಿಯಾಜ್ ಭಾಷಾ ಹಾಗೂ ಹಣಕಾಸು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾದ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ BK ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಬರಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಇದೀಗ ನಾಡಗೀತೆ ಹಾಡಲು RGUHS ಮಹಿಳಾ ತಂಡದವರು ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತು ಶಿಸ್ತು ಸಂಯಮದಿಂದ ನಾಡಗೀತೆಗೆ ಗೌರವ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವಂತೆ ವಿನಂತಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ.
ಜಯ ಹೇ ರಸ ಋಷಿಗಳ ಗೀತೆ, ಓ ದೇವಿಯ ಮಕುಟದ ನವಮಣಿಯೇ, ಗಂಧದ ಚಂದದ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಗಣಿಯೇ, ರಾಘವ ಮಧುಸೂದನರವತರಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ, ಜನನಿಯ ಜೋಗುಳ ವೇದದ ಘೋಷ, ಜನನಿಗೆ ಜೀವವು ನಿನ್ನಾವೇಶ, ಹಸುರಿನ ಗಿರಿಗಳ ಸಾಲೆ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿನ ಮಾಲೆ, ಕಪಿಲ ಪತಂಜಲ ಗೌತಮ ಜಿನನುತ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ, ಶಂಕರನ ಮನುಜ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ, ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಮಧ್ವರ ದಿವ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಷಡಕ್ಷರಿ ಪೊನ್ನ ಪಂಪಲ ಭೂಮಿಪತಿ ಚನ್ನ, ಕುಮಾರ ವ್ಯಾಸನ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಸರ್ವ ಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ ರಸಿಕರ ಕಂಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಪಾರಸಿಕ ಜೈನ ಸತ್ಯಾನ ಜನಕನ ಹೋಲುವ ದೊರೆಗಳ ಧಾಮ ಕಾಯಕ ಮೈನಿಕರ ರಾಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ಗೇಹ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇಹ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ.
ನಾಡಗೀತೆ ಹಾಡಿದ RGUHS ಮಹಿಳಾ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ವರ್ಗದವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಈ ಸುಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡಿರುವ ಗಣ್ಯರನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಲು RGUHSನ ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಕುಲಸಚಿವರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಿಯಾಜ್ ಭಾಷಾ ಎಸ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡಲು ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ.
ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುವ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಯತ್ರ ನಾರ್ಯಸ್ತು ಪೂಜ್ಯಂತೆ ರಮಂತೆ ತತ್ರ ದೇವತಃ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸಲಾಗುತ್ತದೆಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ನೆಲೆಸಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ ಎಂದು ತಿಳಿಸಲಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು 95% ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5% ಜನ ನಾವು ಗಂಡಸರು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ದು ನಡೀತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಕ್ಬರ್ ಬಾದ್ಶಾ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಬೀರ್ಬಲ್ಗೆ ಕರೆದು ಹೇಳದಂತೆ, ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಅಂತವನಿದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬನ್ನಿ, ನಾನು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಬೀರ್ಬಲ್ಲು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಯಾರ್ಡ್ ಹತ್ರ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲವರೆಗೂ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳದಂತೆ, ನೀನ್ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳ್ತೀಯಾ ಕೇಳಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. ಬಂದವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೋದ್ರಂತೆ. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಧೈರ್ಯ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, ನಾನು ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕುತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಎದೋಳಂದ್ರೆ ಎದೋಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಆತರ ನಾನು ಹೆಂಡತಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳದಂತೆ. ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿ ಪಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂತೆ. ಇವನು ನಾನು ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವನಿಗೊಂದು ಕಪ್ಪು ಕುದುರೆಯನ್ನು ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಬೇಷ್ ನೀನ್ ನಾಳೆ ಬಾ, ನಾನು ನಿನ್ಗೆ ರಾಜನ ಹತ್ರ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಕಳಿಸದಂತೆ. ಇವನು ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಪ್ಪು ಕುದುರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದ್ನಂತೆ. ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೆಂಡತಿಗೆ ಹೇಳದಂತೆ, ನೋಡು ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ, ನಾನು ನಿನ್ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ನೀನ್ ಎದೋಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎದೋಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕುತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನನಗೆ ರಾಜ ಖುಷಿ ಪಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಕಪ್ಪು ಕುದುರೆನ ಕಾಣಿಕೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳೇ, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿಗೆ ಈ ಕಪ್ಪು ಕುದುರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಳಿ ಕುದುರೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯ ಇರು ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೀರ್ಬಲ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳದಂತೆ, ಈ ಕಪ್ಪು ಕುದುರೆ ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ, ಬಿಳಿ ಕುದುರೆ ಕೊಡು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಕಪ್ಪು ಕುದುರೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸದಂತೆ. ಇದರ ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಲಾದ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಾಗಿರುವ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು, ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು, ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ, ಪರಿಶ್ರಮ ಮತ್ತು ಮಾನವೀಯತೆ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯವು ಮಹಿಳಾ ಸಬಲೀಕರಣವನ್ನು ಉತ್ತೇಜಿಸುವ ದಿಶೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವುದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಸಂಗತಿ. ಇಂದು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಗಳ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಲಾಗದ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ 2026 ಎಂಬ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಸಮಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಶುಭ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಲು ನನಗೆ ಅಪಾರ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಈ ಮೊದಲಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಉನ್ನತ ಹುದ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ಅಲಂಕರಿಸಿರುವ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾದ ಹಾಗೂ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಯಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಆಡಳಿತವನ್ನು ಅವರು ನೀಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ಸಮರ್ಪಿತ ಸೇವೆ, ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಸಬಲೀಕರಣ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ದೃಢ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ಮತ್ತು ಅಚಲ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಹಾಗೂ ದಾರಿದೀಪವಾಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಅವರ ಸಾನ್ನಿಧ್ಯವು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸಿದೆ. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಗೌರವ ಅತಿಥಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಶ್ರೀ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಮೊಹಸಿನ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಕುಟುಂಬ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಅವರ ಅಪರ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾಗಿ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಬಲಪಡಿಸುವ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ದೂರದೃಷ್ಟಿದ ಆಡಳಿತ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಸಮಗ್ರ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸೇವೆಗಳನ್ನು ಜನಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸುವಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಬದ್ಧತೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಶ್ಲಾಘನೀಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗೌರವಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನಿರ್ದೇಶನಾಲಯದ ಮಾನ್ಯ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ BL ಸುಜಾತಾ ರಾಥೋಡ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟವನ್ನು ಉತ್ತೇಜಿಸುವಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ವೃತ್ತಿಪರರನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸುವಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ನೀಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ಸಮರ್ಪಿತ ಸೇವೆ ಶ್ಲಾಘನೀಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಂದು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿರುವ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಪದ್ಮಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಸ್ಕೃತರು ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ರೀಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರೇಮಾ ಧನರಾಜ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶೇಷ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ರೀಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಶಸ್ತ್ರಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಸಾಧಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ಸಾಧನೆಗಳು ದೇಶವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಗುರುತಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿವೆ. ಈ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ನೀಡಿದ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಿಂದ ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಲಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಸಮಾಜದ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸಿದ ಈ ಮಹನೀಯರ ಸಾಧನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ತರುವಂತಿವೆ. ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು. ಈ ಅದ್ಭುತ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆ ವಹಿಸಿರುವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲರ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯವನ್ನು ಉನ್ನತ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಂಡೊಯ್ಯುತ್ತಿರುವ ದಾರಿದೀಪವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗೌರವಪೂರ್ವವಾದ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಇದೇ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಕುಲಸಚಿವರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಅರ್ಜುನ್ ಒಡೆಯರ್ ಸರ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಹಣಕಾಸು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾದ ಗಂಗಾಧರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಹ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿರುವ ಮಾಜಿ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳು, ಕುಲಸಚಿವರು ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರೋರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಾಗತವು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಶಾಸನಬದ್ಧ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು, ಸೆನೆಟ್, ಸಿಂಡಿಕೇಟ್, ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, ಡೀನ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂಗಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರು, ಬೋಧಕ ಹಾಗೂ ಬೋಧಕೇತರ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಮಿತ್ರರನ್ನು ಈ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಅವರ ಸಾನ್ನಿಧ್ಯವು ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿ ಗೌರವ ಮತ್ತು ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ನೀಡುತ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಕೋರುತ್ತಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಾಗಲಿ ಎಂದು ಹಾರೈಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡಿದ ಶ್ರೀ ರಿಯಾಜ್ ಭಾಷಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಪದ್ಮಶ್ರೀ ಸಾಲುಮರದ ತಿಮ್ಮಕ್ಕ ಅವರ ಆದರ್ಶವನ್ನು ಹಾಗೂ ವಿಶ್ವ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಗಿವ್ ಟು ಗೇನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನೀಡಿ ಪಡೆ ಎಂಬ ಆಶಯವನ್ನು ಮನದಟ್ಟಾಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಗಿಡಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀರುಣಿಸಿ ಪರಿಸರದ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆಯ ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ಸಾರುತ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾಲನೆ ನೀಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲಿರುವ ಗಣ್ಯರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ.
ಹನಿ ಹನಿ ನೀರು ಸಸಿಯ ಒಡಲು ಸೇರಲಿ. ಪದ್ಮಶ್ರೀ ಸಾಲುಮರದ ತಿಮ್ಮಕ್ಕನವರ ಹಸಿರು ಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಮನೆ ಮನೆಯ ಬೆಳಗಲಿ. ಕೊಡುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಖವ ಸಾರುತ್ತಾ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವು ಹಸಿರಾಗಿ ಚಿಗುರಲಿ. ನೆಟ್ಟ ಸಸಿ ಚಿಗುರಲು ನೀರುಣಿಸಿ ಪೋಷಿಸು. ಪರಿಸರ ಉಳಿಸಲು ಗಿಡ ಮರ ಬೆಳೆಸು. ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಮಡಿಲಲ್ಲಿ ಆನಂದ ನೀ ಸವಿಸು ಎಂದು ಗಿಡಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀರೆರೆದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಹೆಣ್ಣೆಂದರೆ ಜಗದ ಕಣ್ಣು, ಮನೆ ಮನ ಬೆಳಗುವ ಹಣತೆ, ಒಲವಿನ ಪ್ರಣತೆ ಎಂದೂ ಬತ್ತದ ಮಮತೆಯ ವರತೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಹೆಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಆಚರಿಸಲು ನಿಮಿತ್ತವಿರುವ ಈ ದಿನದ ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಲು ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿನುತಾ ರಾವ್, ಸೆನೆಟ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, RGUHS.
Good morning to all the respected dignitaries on the dais, esteemed guests, faculty members, and my dear friends. Narinam Shaktiratnam Narinam Tejo Parimitam, which means the strength of women is infinite. Their brilliance is immeasurable. ಹೆಣ್ಣು ದುರ್ಬಲಳಲ್ಲ, ಅವಳು ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಅವಳು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ, ಅವಳು ಬದುಕಿನ ಬೆಳಕು, which means a woman is not weak, she is power, she is creation, she is the light of life. With these powerful thoughts, I feel truly honored to stand before you on this special occasion of International Women's Day at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. International Women's Day is not just about celebration. It is about recognizing the silent strength, endless sacrifices, and remarkable achievements of women in every walk of life. Women are not just a part of society, they are its very foundation. To celebrate women is to celebrate life itself. It is a reminder that when women rise, families rise, communities rise, and nation rise. Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences stands as one of the largest health sciences universities in India, with more than 1,400 affiliated colleges and 3.5 lakhs students shaping the futures of healthcare. This vast network is not just an academic institution, it is a living force of compassion, service, and excellence. RGUHS has always embodied values that resonate with womanhood, empathy, integrity, and resilience. From its very inception, the university has been guided by leaders who believed in empowerment and inclusivity. The first Vice Chancellor of RGUHS was a respected woman leader, Kanta ma'am. And even today, women continue to hold position of influence here, inspiring generations of students and professionals. We are especially proud of the initiative taken by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who has shown extraordinary vision by championing causes that go beyond academics. Drug-free campus awareness. RGUHS has taken the lead in creating awareness about drug-free campuses, a first of its kind initiative in India. No other university has stepped forward with such commitment to safeguard the health and future of its students. Organ donation campaigns. RGUHS has also pioneered awareness on organ donation, instilling value of compassion and service in young minds. These initiatives reflects the university's dedication not only to education but also to social responsibility. Such leadership ensures that RGUHS is not just a place of learning but movement for positive change. Women-centric initiatives by RGUHS. Prevention of Sexual Harassment Oversight Committee. The university has strengthened its commitment to a safe and respectful environment by establishing a robust POSH oversight committee, ensuring dignity, security, and justice for every woman on campus. AI-based breast screening initiatives. In a groundbreaking step towards preventive healthcare, RGUHS has introduced AI-based breast screening programs, enabling early detection and saving countless lives. This reflects a fusion of technology and compassion for women's health. Yoga training for holistic wellness. Understanding that true empowerment includes mental and physical well-being, RGUHS promotes yoga training programs, helping to women achieve balance, strength, and inner peace. Health insurance support. The university has also emphasized health insurance initiatives, ensuring financial security and access to quality health care for women students and staff. Divine Mother and Child Health Programs. Through dedicated initiatives focusing on maternal and child health, RGUHS is nurturing not just individual but future generation, honoring the divine role of mother in shaping society. On a personal note, I would like to say I am proud to be a daughter and even more proud to be a mother of a daughter, because every girl carries within her the power to dream, to achieve, and to transform the world. Let me not conclude, but leave you with a call to action. ಹೆಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸುವುದು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಹೆಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಸಬಲಗೊಳಿಸುವುದು ನಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ, which means respecting women is our culture, empowering women is our responsibility. ಒಬ್ಬ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ನಿಂತರೆ ಕುಟುಂಬ ನಿಂತಂತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹೆಣ್ಣುಗಳು ನಿಂತರೆ ದೇಶವೇ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯುತ್ತದೆ. When one woman stands strong, a family stands strong. When all women rise, the nation rises. And with the deep reverence to the divine feminine, या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. Today, let us not just celebrate women, let us commit to empowering them every day in every way. Thank you.
ವಿಶ್ವ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನದ ಮಹತ್ವ ತಿಳಿಸಿದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿನಿತಾ ರಾವ್ ಸೆನೆಟ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಜೀವನವು ಕಾಮನ ಬಿಲ್ಲಾದರೆ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಅದರ ಬಣ್ಣಗಳಂತೆ. ಕೇವಲ ಯಶಸ್ಸಿನ ಕನಸು ಕಾಣದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ದುಡಿದು ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಹಲವರು. ವಿವಿಧ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಸಾಧನೆಗೆ ಹೆಸರುವಾಸಿಯಾಗಿರುವ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂದು ಅವರ ಯಶಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು RGUHS ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಭಾಗ್ಯಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ, ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ಟ್, ಮತ್ತು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ರುಕ್ಮಿಣಿ, ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್, RGUHS ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. ನಾನು ಭಾಗ್ಯಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಮತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿ ರುಕ್ಮಿಣಿ. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ವುಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಚೀವರ್ ಫೆಲಿಸಿಟೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ವೈಟೀಸ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅವರ ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ. ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಅಚೀವರ್ ಸೇಸ್, the one thing which will make you wake up looking forward to each day is a passion for your work. It is such a joyous time in most people's life. It is by Dr. Kamini A. Rao. Dr. Kamini A. Rao, former medical director of Dr. Kamini Rao Hospitals, is a daughter of eminent gynecologist Dr. P.R. Desai and Mrs. Parimala Desai. Dr. P.R. Desai was the first male gynecologist of the state. Dr. Kamini Rao has a venerable clinical and research career in reproductive medicine. Her artistic energy, diversity, and versatility are well acknowledged in the country's medical and research community, inspiring, enigmatic, and blessing to aspiring parents. She is an explorer and never stops teaching the masses how to get every last second worth each day. Dr. Rao is best described as an individual with a fine blend of diligence, enthusiasm, determination, and desire. The pioneering role that Dr. Kamini Rao has played in the field of assisted reproduction has resulted from extensive study, enormous research, and credible achievement through dedicated service, adding value to her patient's life. She has been awarded with Padma Shri in 2014, Karnataka State Rajyotsava Award in 1997, honored with Karnataka Vaidya Ratna Award in 2021, Lifetime Achievement Award by Karnataka State Obstetric and Gynecology Association in December 2021.
In dental faculty, Dr. Nalini. Dr. Nalini is a distinguished dental professional with over 3 decades of dedicated service in clinical practice, academics, and innovation orthodontics. She is a graduate of Government Dental College, Bengaluru. She further served the nation through the Indian Army Dental Corps before completing her MDS from Bapuji Dental College, Davanagere. She has been a pioneer functional orthodontics, established herself as an exclusive Mayo brace provider center, Australia, since 2013. Her contributions extended to academia as a former lecturer and as a functional member of BKV Raman Society of Higher Education in Dentistry, recognized by RGUHS. Beyond dentistry, she is passionate about wildlife photography and continues to inspire through multifaceted journey and service leadership and excellence.
It is Dr. Shobha Rani or Hiremat from pharmacy. Dr. Shobha Rani Hiremat is a distinguished academician, researcher, and a leader in pharmaceutical sciences with over 40 years of exemplary experience in teaching, research, and academic administration. She has served as Dean, Faculty of Pharmacy at RGUHS, Principal of Alamein College of Pharmacy, and Director of leading pharmacy institutions shaping generations of pharmacy professionals.
Ayurveda faculty, Dr. Shailaja Yu. Dr. Shailaja Yu is a distinguished Ayurvedic physician, academician, and healthcare leader with decades of excellence in clinical care, research, and medical education. Currently serving as a principal and chief medical officer at SDM College of Ayurveda and Hospital Hassan. She has played a pivotal role advancing Ayurvedic pediatrician and institutional leadership. A recipient of numerous prestigious honors, including the Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapita Fellowship 2025 and Doctor of the Year. Her unwavering commitment Ayurveda research, community service continues to inspire excellence in integrative healthcare.
Now we welcome Dr. Sujata KJ from Yoga and Naturopathy faculty. Dr. Sujata KJ is a distinguished academician, clinician, and researcher in the field of naturopathy and yoga with over 3 decades of teaching and clinical excellence. Holding a PhD in yoga along with postgraduate specialization, she has played a pivotal role in advancing holistic healthcare through education, research, and institutional leadership. A prolific researcher, Dr. Sujata has authored more than 70 research publications in national and international journals.
Unani faculty, Dr. Wajiha Begum. Dr. Wajiha Begum, Unani faculty. An eminent academician and a clinician in Unani medicine, Dr. Wajiha Begum brings over 3 decades of dedicated service in healthcare and medical education. With extensive experience as a medical officer and distinguished teaching career spanning undergraduate and postgraduate levels, she has mentored numerous scholars and guided 58 plus research dissertations. Dr. Begum has been honored with the numerous prestigious awards including Bharat Jyoti Award.
Now, Dr. Sarvamangala IS from nursing faculty. Dr. Sarvamangala IS is a distinguished nursing leader, academician, and healthcare visionary with over 3 decades of experience in nursing education, administration, and community health. As the founder and principal of Sri Saptagiri Institute of Nursing Sciences, she has been instrumental in shaping quality nursing education and empowering generations of healthcare professionals.
In physiotherapy, Dr. Veena Kiran Nambiar. Dr. Veena Kiran Nambiar is a distinguished academician, clinician, and leader in cardiac rehabilitation with over 28 years of experience spanning academics, clinical practice, research, and administration. She currently serves as a professor at Ramaya College of Physiotherapy and leads the cardiac rehabilitation program at Ramaya Memorial Hospital, Bengaluru, a pioneer pulmonary rehabilitation. She is a recipient of a prestigious European Commission Erasmus Mundus Scholarship at Ghent University Hospital, Belgium, and she served as a visiting scientist at the Cardiac Rehabilitation Institute, Toronto. Her commitment and advancing rehabilitation sciences and patient care continues to inspire excellence in field of physiotherapy.
Now we invite Dr. P. Katyayani from Allied and Sciences faculty. Dr. P. Katyayani is a distinguished academician, researcher, and administrator with over 27 years of experience in teaching, clinical research, and academic leadership. Currently serving as professor and principal at Tejaswini Institute of Allied Health Sciences, she has played a pivotal role in shaping allied health science education and advancing biomedical sciences.
Now, RGUHS employee, Mrs. Sunanda. Mrs. Sunanda, today we bid a heartfelt farewell to Mrs. Sunanda, section officer, on the occasion of her retirement after 29 years of dedicated and exemplary service. Mrs. Sunanda began her journey from 30th May 1997 as a junior assistant, and through her unwavering commitment and sincerity rose through the ranks to serve in key sections of the institution. Her tenure includes valuable contributions to the examination section, the Vice Chancellor Personnel section, and the establishment section, where she played the integral role for many years. Most sincerely, recently, since July 2024, she has been serving with dedication in the student welfare section as a section officer.
It is a felicitation to a special woman achiever, Dr. Usha Hegde, a distinguished academician, researcher, and leader in dental sciences. Dr. Usha Hegde brings over 28 years of excellence in education, research, and institutional leadership. A university topper and gold medalist, she has made remarkable contributions to oral pathology and microbiology through more than 114 publications, books, and multiple research projects shaping generations of dental professionals. Beyond academics, Dr. Hegde is an extraordinary endurance athlete and global achiever. She is the first Indian woman to complete both Ironman triathlon and summit Mount Everest, and holds the distinction of being the first female dentist from India and first female oral pathologist in the world to scale Everest. Big round of applause, please, all of you. Dr. Usha Hegde truly embodies the spirit of excellence, resilience, and inspiration to all of us.
ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ನಿರೂಪಣೆ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ರುಕ್ಮಿಣಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಭಾಗ್ಯಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಅಂದದ ಚಂದದ ಪಾತ್ರಗಿತ್ತಿ ಹೊರಟಳು ತನ್ನ ರೆಕ್ಕೆಯ ಬಿಚ್ಚಿ, ಬಣ್ಣವ ತುಂಬಿತು
ಒಂದು ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಗತಿಯ ಮಾಪನ ಆ ದೇಶದ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ದೊರೆಯುವ ಗೌರವದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಧಾರಿತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂಬ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರವರ ಮಾತಿಗೆ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯಾಗಿ ನಿಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ IAS ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯವನ್ನು ನೀಡಲು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವೈಶಾಲಿ ಶ್ರೀಜಿತ್, ಸೆನೆಟ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, RGUHS ಅವರನ್ನು ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
Namaste and a very good morning to the respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and each one of you all gathered here. There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. And today, to inspire us and to empower generations of women, we are honored to have a woman amidst us who has undoubtedly redefined leadership. Setting foot as a woman topper of the 1989 IAS batch and beginning her service to the society at a tender age of 22 truly defines breaking the stereotype back then. Completing her MA and BA in psychology and being the gold medalist of Punjab University, Chandigarh, and also holding MBA degree from Lathope University, Australia, and PhD in rural development from Mangalore University, this woman was unstoppable. She was instrumental in implementing Sakala, a flagship governance reform in Karnataka that ensures the timely delivery of public services. This initiative won the Google Innovation Award in 2013. Her research and book on inclusive growth contributed to the Article 371J amendment, which granted special status to the backward Hyderabad Karnataka region. She has served in various departments including health, education, finance, civil aviation, and rural development at both state and central levels. She has written over 13 books in English and Kannada, covering themes like management, personality development, women empowerment, and smart cities. She is a strong proponent of organ donation and often speaks in technology-enabled governance. Presenting a vibrant and dynamic personality to this august gathering, Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, a senior Indian Administrative Service officer of the 1989 batch, currently serving as a Chief Secretary to the Government of Karnataka. Over to you, ma'am.
ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಬಿಸಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ತಡವಾದ ಒಂದು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನೇ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಕಾರಣ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವರು ಮಾರ್ಚಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆದ್ರು VC ಅವರು, ಆದರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಸೆಷನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕರೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಒಪ್ಪಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಮುಜುಗರ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮುಜುಗರ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಬೇಡ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಷನ್ ಮುಗಿಲಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮೊದಲಾಗಿ VC ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಇದು ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಬಿಗ್ ಆನರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ RGUHS ಇಂದ ಪ್ರಥಮವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯಿತು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಸಾಧಕಿಯರು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇದ್ದರು, ಗುರ್ತಿಸೋರು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ಗುರ್ತಿಸೋರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಾಧಕಿಯರು ಕಾಣ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ದಿಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ change of mindset. Why people before him never thought of doing so? I don't know. My ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಕುಲಸಚಿವರು ಒಂದು ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದರು. Again, it is an issue of a mindset. What do we think? ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಡತಿಯ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಕೀಳ್ರಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಗಂಡಸರು ಮಾತು ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅದು ನಿಜವಾದ ಗಂಡು. It is not that. In a civilized society, ಗಂಡ ಆಗಲಿ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಆಗಲಿ, they are equal partners in this enterprise called family, alwa? And it is not a question of whose ಯಾರ್ದು ಮಾತು ನಡೀತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರ್ದು ಮಾತು ಇಡೀ ಕುಟುಂಬಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, that is important, alwa? So if we change this mindset, then the question of this unnecessary, in fact we lose out sometimes. Maybe ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಾತು might have been in the better interest of the family. ಆ ಕಪ್ಪು ಕೂತ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಬಹುದಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. The couple of issues that I thought I have the privilege to be with the most eminent doctors, researchers, professors and the students. ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 2-3 ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಉಷಾ ಅವರು ನೋಡಿ ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ನನಗೆ ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. See, biologically speaking, women are stronger than men. Yes or no? Why is it that physically women are less strong? Has anybody got an answer? Now, Dr. Usha could scale up Mount Everest as a woman, but not many other women would have done it, right? But many other men had done it. So it is not that women are not able to do it, alwa? In fact, she should tell us later on somewhere how she got the support of the family members and society to scale up that height. Many of us have a huge talent within us, but we are not supported by our surrounding members of the family. If supported, there is no end to achievements. There is no end to achieve. And tell me today, any field where women have not done well, please tell me any field. Then I'll take it up as a challenge and start another university for that. Haudalla? You all agree? Then one big cheers for all the women and all the men who are present here to cheer you up. The second question, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಥೀಮ್ ವೈದ್ಯರ ಪಾತ್ರ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಆರೋಗ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಅದನ್ನ ಆ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಕುಲಪತಿಯವರು ಇದನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Now, what is the biggest challenge to women's health today? What is the biggest challenge? Any take? Biggest challenge, women's health. You're all doctors, right? What is the biggest challenge? There are many challenges, not one. What is the biggest challenge? Professional life comes much later. I'm saying right at the birth stage, there is a biggest challenge. Self-care is an option that makes it better. The challenge before, which I see as an administrator, is when this National Family Health Survey tells me that more than 67% of pregnant women in Karnataka and in general in India also are anemic. I find this to be a very, very big challenge. And I want to know the root cause. When we all agreed in question number 1 that biologically women are stronger, why is it as they grow, they become weaker? Are there biological reasons or there are social reasons? Now, that social reasons are not taught in MBBS, are they? You will be treating the anemia, but how do you prevent anemia? Because it is not the question of these 67% pregnant women. It is all that next generation that is coming in. The children born to the pregnant women are equally anemic. What is the after effect of anemia? First thing is that all your illnesses come running to you because your immunity is down. Other things being IMR, MMR, etc., that being apart from that. So what is it as doctors that we can do to protect and strengthen the health parameter of the women right from childhood so that she becomes a healthy woman? She is physically strong as her counterparts, and she gives birth also to a strong next generation, which is our future. And there is no differentiation between the future of man and woman. It's our common future. If the future is going to be bleak, if our future generation is going to be bleak, then whether you are man or a woman, you are going to be equally partner to it. Is it not? So what do you think? You are all accomplished people. How do we prevent? Anemia is one, but I'm generally saying, how do we prevent illnesses? WHO defines health as what? absence of disease. But what are we doing? We are treating disease after it has come to our doors. I'm very happy that some people from Ayush, yoga, and other disciplines have also been part of the today's felicitation. ನಮ್ಮ ಪರಂಪರೆಗಳು ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, there are lot of good practices in that. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. My maid cook, our ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ one girl, her sister-in-law, ಅವ್ರ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಒಂದು ತಾಲೂಕಾ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ there was lot of difficulty. ಅವ್ರ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಇವ್ರು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಜೀರಾ ಹಾಕಿ ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕುಡಿಸಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಬಿಲೀವ್, ವಿದಿನ್ ಅ ಫ್ಯೂ minutes after she drank, easy delivery. Can you believe this? Does it teach you in the MBBS? Madam Kamini Rao is the expert on women's reproductive health. But does it somewhere teach you anyway? We will say this medicine, this injection, this. But there are simpler ways of a healthy life. Don't you think we are missing out on it? I have personal experiences as a common man, as a common woman. All of us have. I'm sure in your families also. We go for treatment of one disease, and we come back with 4 different after effects. My mother has been a victim of that. I'm sharing these as a concern of common men, of people at large, society at large. Priority 1, we must focus on preventive steps to see that the women's health is strong enough through different, again, integrated. I am a strong believer of integrated medicine. Whatever is the best possible, why should I not take it just because it is not allopathy, just because IMA has not given the seal? No, it has been there with us for thousands of years, proven. What is wrong in accepting it? It is cheap and best sometimes. I'm not saying only address that. I'm just saying, take the best of both the worlds or all the worlds. Why not? Is our Rajiv Gandhi University ready to open up the doors? Rigveda says so. Let noble thoughts come from any direction. It is up to us what we want to take, what we don't want. But let the options not be closed. This is one part. So kindly focus on, especially the faculty I'm addressing, and my additional chief secretary is here, and DME director is here. Can we look at strengthening the research on preventive aspects of health? Again, using the excellent wealth of information that we have through our traditional knowledge as well, apart from Western knowledge. Second, ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಗುಣ ವೈದ್ಯಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, whether they are male doctors or female doctors. What are those ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಗುಣ which a doctor must have to heal patients? Empathy, humanity, ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ವಾ? And sorry, patience, compassion, inclusiveness. Yes, that's all. ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಗುಣ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ? Please speak up. This is your time. Say it so. Kindness, softness. Yes, softness. Very important. Because when I said women are biologically strong, yet they are very soft, they're very delicate. Delicate probably is the word. They understand. Softness is not in physical form, but they are, as you said, empathy. As a woman, there is an instinctive ability to understand the pain and depth of that suffering of a person with whom she is interacting. There is something intuitive. And there is also, you know, that they say women's way of handling a situation. They will be soft about it. They will not be harsh. Generally, there are exceptions everywhere. But when you handle a patient and you listen to that person's problem, agony, though you would have heard this 1,000 times from 1,000 patients, doesn't mean that this individual does not, is not due for equal attention and care. The care, actually, the most important is a care. We normally say caregivers. Women are caregivers, right? And we call it care economy, which is not monetized. And I don't know how many of you know that in USA there was a research done on monetizing the care economy, and they worked out how much the family would have to pay if they had to hire a person for all kinds of, cooking and cleaning and whatever, teaching as a driver, taking the child to the school, whatever. All put together was exceeding the highest income being paid to an MNC, of a CEO of an MNC. The chief executive officer of an MNC, it's higher than that put together. That is what is being given with no price tags, but it is being given. Why? Because the women are made like that. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಇದು women guna. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು without any gender discrimination, for the profession's sake, it is very important. I would say as an administrator, I see 100 people every day coming with grievances, with different types of problems that they have. If I don't listen to them, and if I don't solve their issue as if it was mine, their trouble was my trouble, and I would have, if I don't do that, then I don't deserve to be where I am. One last, final thing to be inspired by our associate professor from Dental College, who gave us the dance performance, right? One big cheers for her once again. Despite being in the profession, which is like 24/7, she has maintained her, where is she? I like to hug her. She has maintained her hobby, her passion for the art. I'm so happy. And I want to say this, again, talking of the attitudinal changes, that during my service, one of my lady officers was a good Bharatnatyam dancer. And we had a gathering like this in one of the functions. And I told her, you perform. Her boss was a man. And he said, no, how can you perform before the officers, male officers, who are going to work under you, let's say? How can you perform? I failed to understand. Kale, Samskriti, and talent is something which is to be recognized, which is to be celebrated, and not to be snubbed and to be, that is what I said. If you get the support of people around you, it can be bosses, it can be fathers, it can be children also, I'm sure the women will have no field where they don't, get the laurels from the society. And it is a laurel for the society as a whole, not just the woman. It's a laurel for the entire society, entire nation, entire globe, because she's the one. Without her, you would not have been there. Remember that.
ಸಾಧನೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮುಖ್ಯವೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸುವುದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಗಂಡು ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಸಮಾನರು ಎನ್ನುವುದನ್ನು ಕೇಳುತ್ತೇವೆ, ಆದರೆ ನಾ ಮೇಲೂ ನೀ ಮೇಲೂ ಎನ್ನುವುದರ ಬದಲು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿ ಯಾರು ಎನ್ನುವುದನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸುವುದು ಅತ್ಯಗತ್ಯ ಎಂದು ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚರಿಸಿದ್ದು ತಡವಾಯಿತೆಂದು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ನಾವು ವಿಶ್ವ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ ಎಂದು ಅರ್ಥವಾಯಿತು ಎಂದು ನಾವು ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಈಗ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯದ ಮಧ್ಯ ಬಿಡುವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರುವ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರು ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಂದಾಗಿ ಶೀಘ್ರವೇ ತೆರಳಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ VC ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹಿತನುಡಿಗಳನ್ನಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ.
Good morning. I'm just breaking the protocol just to thank ma'am because she has to leave. I thank ma'am immensely from Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences and as Vice Chancellor of this university, and personally as Dr. Bhagwan, because the day we started our initiatives, especially Nasha Mukt Bharat, Organ Pledge and eco-friendly campus, she appreciated on one or two occasions when we met her in Indian Institute of Science and also banquet hall, and she said we have to take it to the grassroots level. She advised and suggested that we should take this drug-free campus Nasha Mukt Bharat program to all the school children. They are the ones which are getting affected, and she is also a strong advocate of lifestyle for women. Today our ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಮತ್ತು how strong females are and how important it is to nurture and give them opportunities ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಇದೊಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ನುಡಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಎಂಕರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ತಾವು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಬಿಡುವಿಲ್ಲದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ you have inspired all our people here, and not only here, this program is going viral live, so I'm sure across the state from all the colleges it would have inspired everyone. And yesterday we have released a small note from Rajiv Gandhi University. I just wanted to read it out, ma'am. This is to all the gentlemen of RGUHS. On the occasion of Women's Day 2026, RGUHS wishes to share a message that goes far beyond flowers, greetings, or formal celebration. Each day, we work alongside women who contribute their knowledge, dedication, and strength to the institution as colleagues, as students, and as individuals. The way we perceive them, speak to them, and support them not only shapes their experience, but also reflects our workplace culture and defines our character. We aspire to set a meaningful example by embracing values that truly matter: gentleness in our words, integrity in our actions, and fairness in every decision we make. Respect is not demonstrated in grand gestures, but in quiet, consistent behavior. True professionalism lies not only in achieving success, but in ensuring that everyone, especially the women around us, feel valued and secure. So on this Women's Day, the most meaningful offering we can make is not a token, but a commitment to uphold dignity, to act with empathy, and foster a culture where respect is lived every single day. Let this not end as a message, but begin as a practice. So with warm regards, I have just signed this, and thank you very much, ma'am, for gracing this occasion.
ತಾವು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿ.
ಅಂದದ ಚಂದದ ಪಾತರಗಿತ್ತಿ ಹೊರಟಳು ತನ್ನ ರೆಕ್ಕೆಯ ಬಿಚ್ಚಿ, ಬಣ್ಣವ ತುಂಬಿತು ಕನಸುಗಳು ಕಟ್ಟಿ, ಹಾರಿತು ಹೂಗಳ ಚುಂಬನ ತಟ್ಟಿ, ನಲಿಯುತ್ತಾ ಕುಣಿಯುತ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಮೆಟ್ಟಿ ಸಾಗಿ ಎಂಬಂತೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧನೆಯ ಮೆಟ್ಟಿಲೇರಿರುವ ಇಂದಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷಣಕಾರರನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸುವ ಸಮಯ. ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ BC ಅವರು ಹಾಗೂ ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಇಂದಿನ ಭಾಷಣಕಾರರನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ I invite Dr. Tilagavati Ramamurthy, Dr. Abhilasha Narayan, Dr. Matangi J, and Dr. Nivedita Reshme, as well as Dr. Nagaranjani Prakash to come onto the stage. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ Dr. R. Tilagavati ಅವರ ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯ. Dr. Tilagavati Ramamurthy is a cancer epidemiologist and statistician with experience in cancer surveillance, burden estimation, survival analysis, and risk factor attribution studies in India. She currently serves as Scientist C at Indian Council of Medical Research, National Center for Disease Informatics and Research, Bengaluru, and as Assistant Professor at the Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research. Her work includes research on cancers in women, particularly cervical cancer burden, survival disparities, and healthcare access inequities among underserved populations. She is committed to translating cancer registry data into actionable evidence that strengthens prevention, early detection, and equitable cancer care for women across India.
Dr. Abhilasha Narayan, a distinguished obstetrician, gynecologist, and robotic laparoscopic surgeon at HCG Hospital, Bangalore. Driven by a strong interest in cancer care in women, she pursued advanced training with a fellowship and residency in gynec-oncology from Kidwai Memorial Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Dr. Abhilasha is skilled in comprehensive cancer care, including colposcopy, chemotherapy administration, and palliative management of gynecologic malignancies. She was also awarded the Young Gynec Oncologist Award by the Association of Gynec-Oncologists of India for her paper presentation in 2011. Through her clinical expertise and academic contribution, she continues to play an important role in advancing the care of women with gynecologic cancer.
Next, Dr. Matangi J is a senior consultant and in charge of the Department of Radiation Oncology at Gleneagles Fortis Hospital, Bengaluru, with over 2 decades of extensive clinical experience. She is widely recognized for her expertise in advanced radiation oncology techniques. Dr. Matangi was awarded gold medal for academic excellence as a postgraduate from Madras Medical College, Chennai. She further pursued training at Apollo Cancer Specialty Hospital, Chennai, and received international training in advanced oncological techniques from Germany, Denmark, and Hong Kong. In recognition of her outstanding service in oncology, she received the Times Excellency Service Award for 2 consecutive years, 2022 and 23, and was listed among the best doctors of South by Outlook in 2024 and 25. Through her clinical work and academic contributions, Dr. Matangi J continues to play a significant role in advancing cancer care and improving outcomes for women with cancer.
Dr. Nivedita Reshme is an assistant professor in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at Ramaya Medical College, Bangalore. She has specialized in minimal access surgery, clinical gynec-oncology, and cosmetic gynecology. Her key areas of interest include gynecologic oncology, minimal access surgeries, transgender health, and adolescent gynecology. Beyond medicine, she is an accomplished sportsperson, a former Karnataka Women's State Cricket player, and currently Karnataka State Senior Selection Committee member, and has represented at university and district level. She has received the Women's Day Award for promoting a gender equality.
I now request all our dignitaries to felicitate our speakers of the day, as well as Dr. Nagaranjani Prakash. They are being felicitated with a small stole made by Ase, having the artists, the talented neurodiverse adults, women, and children from rural backgrounds. Dr. Tilagavati Ramamurthy, Dr. Abhilasha Narayan, and the moderator of the day, Dr. Nivedita Reshmi. ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಇಂದಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಗೌರವಾರ್ಥ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಮೊಹಸಿನ್ IAS ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅಪರ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳು, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಕುಟುಂಬ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಅವರ ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯವನ್ನು ನೀಡಲು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗರಂಜನಿ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and to each and everyone present here, a very good afternoon to you all. Indeed, it's my privilege to introduce our guest of honor, Shri Mohammad Mohsin Sir, a distinguished officer of the Indian Administrative Service. Belonging to the Karnataka cadre of the 1996 batch, he has had an illustrious career marked by dedication, integrity, and excellence in public service. With an MBA, complementing his administrative expertise, he has contributed significantly to governance and public welfare. He is currently serving as the Additional Chief Secretary to the Government of Karnataka in the Medical Education Department, where he plays a key role in strengthening medical education and healthcare infrastructure in Karnataka. Sir has held several important positions, including Principal Secretary in the Medical Education and Labor Departments, Commissioner for Rehabilitation and Resettlement, and Managing Director of key state corporations. His work has impacted diverse sectors such as education, labor welfare, urban and rural development. He has also enriched his administrative journey through extensive training at national and international levels. Sir's journey reflects a deep commitment to public service and inclusive development, inspiring many of us here today. On behalf of everyone present here, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Sir and looking forward to hearing from you, Sir. Thank you.
ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ BC ಅವರು ಹಾಗೂ ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲಿರುವ ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಗಣ್ಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಮೊಹಸಿನ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ.
Very good afternoon to everybody here. Namaskara. This International Women's Day organized by Rajiv Gandhi Health Institute, President of this function, Dr. BC Bhagwan, Dr. Prema Dhanraj, Dr. BL Sujata Rathore, Dr. Yaz Basha, Arjun Vadiyar, and Gangadhar, and all ladies and gentlemen, and senior faculty members, and all the students. I feel privileged to be here on the occasion of International Women's Day, organized by Rajiv Gandhi Health Sciences Institute. Already, I think our Chief Secretary Madam has detailed about importance of women and Women's Day. But I would like to convey my regards, first of all, to all the awardees who have got it. At the same time, I would like to say that the same spirit should go to the next generation, because I think you have been there, achievers, top performers, but the same wisdom should spread to all. That's what as a department and the government of Karnataka, I would like to request to all of you to spread that knowledge. That's what I can say. The knowledge should not be confined to you or to anybody else. So my request to all the awardees that whatever they have achievement is there, they should see to that the same wisdom should be transferred and spread across the country, across the globe. That's what I can say. I wish all the best. I pray to God that God should give them health, wealth, whatever thing is there. But same time, they should spread the knowledge and wealth, whatever thing is there with them, to the next generation, so that we can have much more, because we need such leaders tomorrow also. Today they are there, but we need such leaders for the next generation, to coming generation also. So my request, and once again, I congratulate all the awardees who got this awards today from Rajiv Gandhi Health University. And I hope that in the coming days, they will spread the knowledge across the globe. That's what I can say. So thank you very much to all of you. But I'll tell you one thing. If you say that International Women's Day, this International Women's Day as celebration has come very late in the Western world. In 1900, I think 8, the National Women's Day was celebrated in the USA, and then 1911, that was adopted that we should celebrate International Women's Day. But in India, our culture from ancient times, Ardnarishwar, Ardnarangni, whatever we say, we have a whole lot of tradition. I think that wish also we have to revise it. Whether we take from ancient times to the later times also. We have examples of Raja Sultan, who has ruled Delhi Sultanate, leaving aside his brothers. You can imagine those days, in 1500 or 1400, they have ruled the country and the Delhi Sultanate of a big part of the country, leaving aside I think his brothers also. So similarly, Ahilyabai Holkar, Rani Lakshmi Bai, in Karnataka we can say Kittur Rani Chennamma. So many examples are there. In between, I think somewhere the woman has gone behind for different reasons, societal reasons or whatever thing is there, or vested interest. That's a different issue. But now I think this is no more. So now it's a high time that we should really celebrate the women's achievement. We should see that their actual participation is there much more in the administration, in the politics, in every walks of life. So I think I wish all the best to, on this occasion of International Women's Day, and we should go back to our own roots, that how the woman was playing important role, leadership role in all walks of society, all sectors of society. Women, as on today, you can say that ISRO is also headed by one time, I think, woman person. So it's not like that we have any glass ceiling. Glass ceiling is broken long ago. But now it's a high time that we should, as a woman, we should come forward and lead the society. So we can say that we have much more peace in the world, across in our homes also, and across the world also. Once again, I wish all of you International Women's Day. And truly, we can say that when women can be a true leader inside home and outside home also. So we should see to it that this days comes much faster, so that everybody gets equal opportunity. And as Madam was telling, a good health. And same time, I will just reconvey my feeling, as Madam was telling, that holistic integrated healing. Because last year we went to Australia also. They're also in, I think, University of Western Sydney hospitals. They have taken all across the thing. They have a Chinese medicine in the medical colleges. They have other Indian system of medicine, Ayurveda, everything is there. But in India, we are just lagging behind. I don't know who has taught this differentiation, because we have to take when we are talking about pain doesn't understand is it allopathic or Ayurvedic or Indian system of medicine. So we have to elevate the pain, whatever thing is there, for the active participation of all together, everybody from administration to doctors and the university also. I wish university that they should take it this step long ago. And I wish that in the coming setup of Bhiman Kupe, other places also, we should see that we should have integrated medicine and holistic medicine also to a new level with all of your wisdom with this words. So once again, I'm thankful for university for inviting me and giving this opportunity to speak few words. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
We thank Shri Mohammad Mohsin Sir for inspiring women not just to achieve high, but to pass their wisdom to other women. Only then, gender equality will not just be a spoken about theoretical concept, rather will become a reality across the world. Thank you, sir.
ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಗೌರವಾರ್ಥ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ BL ಸುಜಾತಾ ರಾಥೋಡ್, ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರು, ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನಿರ್ದೇಶನಾಲಯ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರ ಕಿರುಪರಿಚಯವನ್ನು ನೀಡಲು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಾಜಶ್ರೀ, ಡೆಪ್ಯೂಟಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್, RGUHS ಅವರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It is my great privilege and honor to introduce our esteemed guest of honor for today's function, Dr. BL Sujata Rathod, Madam. Beside being a distinguished ophthalmologist, she is one of the most accomplished women medical administrator who has constantly demonstrated excellence and leadership throughout her impressive career spanning over 3 decades. Madam is currently serving as the Director of Medical Education, Government of Karnataka. Previously, she held many key positions, namely the Director RIO, Minto Ophthalmic Hospital, Bengaluru, Chief Executive Director of Nursing and Paramedical Board, Senate and Syndicate Member of RGUHS, and so on. Dr. Sujata Rathod, Madam, is a recipient of prestigious Dr. B.C. Roy Award and actively involved in several national and international conferences. And also, she contributed significantly to research, eye donation awareness, women empowerment, and public health programs. Her career reflects a rare blend of clinical excellence, academic commitment, visionary leadership, and compassionate public service. Today, we are truly fortunate to have such an inspiring personality among us. I am confident that mere her presence here will add immense value to this event and leave us all highly motivated. With great respect and admiration, I warmly welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Sujata Rathod, Madam. Big round of applause for the DME, Madam.
ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಶುಭ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ. On the event of International Women's Day 2026 organized by the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, first and foremost, my salutations to all the dignitaries on the stage, off the stage, our former Vice Chancellor Professor Chandrasekhar Shetty sir, syndicate members Dr. Sheila Mane, and many other familiar faces, and to all the young and bright women who have gathered here today on the occasion of celebrating the International Women's Day 2026. Respectful salutations to one and all, and my greetings of this International Women's Day. Well, as we all said, and as Madam Shalini Madam, because of her busyness, we have pushed the International Women's Day, which was to be celebrated on March 8th, into the month of April. I think one important message here is that it is not to be confined for just one day. Women's Day is every day, because starting from early morning, 5 o'clock in your houses, till the last light you off, it is always, most of the things, 99%, it's what the women does to make her family safe and sound and healthy. So that is the achievement of women, being always Nari Shakti antivi, Nari Devi antivi. But ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಂಸಾರನೂ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಸುಖವಾಗೂ ಇರಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಮಹಿಳೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿರೋ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸವನ್ನು ಮೇಲೆತ್ತಿ, let us all celebrate the spirit of this International Women's Day, first and foremost. Yes, we all are here to bring about this wonderful celebration and to look at its various themes. And we have already congratulated and felicitated all the women achievers. That itself goes to say that way back, as Sir was saying, in 1870 it started with rights about labor movement to privileges for hygiene at the workplace, to later on went to voting rights, and today we want to claim of equal opportunities to be given to women in all fields. But yes, we have, as our earlier speakers have identified, and we have identified and felicitated so many of our women achievers, we are there in every field. Starting from the caring and most compassionate person India has seen, Mother Teresa, to the most efficient administrator and prime minister we have had, Madam Indira Gandhi, to the very own our young women cricketer, Dr. Reshmi here, we are no less in any other field. And as Dr. Shalini Madam was saying, we are biologically strong. Yes, we are. Because when we give birth to a child, you know the pain is compared to the breaking off or the fracture of 207 bones of the body. So that is the strength we have when we give birth to another life. So that is your privilege, and I hail and say that we are proud to be women, and so shall every woman here be. Well, we are celebrating the strength, the resilience, and the limitless potential of women. But as our Dr. Bhagwan, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, has said, that though we everyday work alongside our women, the message should be in its greatest form that we need to respect our women. Women being, again, another wonderful creature created by God, deserves respect and dignity at the most. And though we say that we, in spite of our samskaras, in spite of, ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಪೂಜಿಸ್ತೇವೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನವಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ದೇವಿ, ಆ ದೇವಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಇರುವ ದೀಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಬತ್ತಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಮನೆ ಯಜಮಾನ ಅವಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಿರ್ಚಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೀನ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ to having respect and support of our men alongside us in all our gestures. That will be the most idealistic situation, where equal opportunities are given by fathers, equal strength is, complementary strength is given by every husband and the men in our life. I think if we have such a constant support by our men, I think the world will be the most beautiful place for every young woman and men. So, as just to touch upon today's theme of the International Women's Day, it is to say that rights, justice, action is needed for all the women and girls. This is a powerful reminder that equality is not just an idea, but it's a huge responsibility, not just for men, but for women also. If we look at the few things in the society where we are looking at so many female feticide and the way men treat women, I think a lot goes to say about women and their awareness and how we bring up our children. Be it the way the man treats the women of the house, or what is taught to the young boy by the women, that goes a long way for him to treat the women as he grows up. If the man of the house is constantly found to be abusing his wife or degrading her, the young boy grows up thinking that is the way women have to be treated. He does not know that the society has to consider that every woman is a respectful citizen, and that is how she has to be treated. So it goes back to such small gestures in the house, that the man of the house should constantly show respect to the wife or the women or the sister, whoever is in the house. So again, women becomes the nurturer. Not only does she give birth, but she is the one who has to put in these right values in every child. So I say that it's a responsibility of every woman who is considered as the architects of the society or the family, that from the womb to tomb, a woman definitely needs to treat every son what is the rightful way to treat his girlfriend in future, his sister, or his wife in future. I think it, again, responsibility of this teaching rests on the women's shoulder. So I would say that a woman, they say she's a full circle. She gives birth, she nurtures, she inspires, but she is again the one who has to uphold these values of society and teach the right things to our young men who otherwise may be misdirected. And so in this very saying, we are looking at every action that will give us equal opportunities. As our earlier speakers have said, or as all of us, as women, we all know that we are physically, biologically different from men. Definitely we are. But that does not take away the right that you do not give us the right opportunity, because if given the right opportunity, every woman will show that if not better, she can do equally good work at every field. And that we have achieved on many levels. But there's still many, many young girls who need to understand this, have the self-confidence, have self-respect to grow up more into the society. And there's also the theme said, give to gain. I have my the godfather and Professor Chandrasekhar Shetty sir, who always tells me that the more you give to society, you get back. So this theme and the theme of Women's International Day goes together. The more you give good to the society, the more you're going to get good things. So the more you consider doing wrong things to society, you shall be the victim of bad things. So learn to give. And when we say to give all the good things the women should have, whether it's the continuum care which we exhibit, the compassion, the empathy which we should show in our medical field, or the knowledge or the opportunities which we should give in order to gain progress. Progress cannot be just an idea. Progress has to be a unified effort, and that is necessary for every young woman here today. So when we give respect, we gain equality. And when we give empowerment, we build up a stronger society and a more inclusive society. So when we look at that, as sir was saying, today we have broken many of the glass ceiling effect. But yes, in spite of that, very young people from our rural background or from our very own house, still there are a lot of barriers and expectations and challenges you have to meet. At every point of time, let us show that we have the greatest strength, the greatest dignity, and be determined, because resilience is not just inspiring, it needs to be a transformative feeling. Only then we can all move forward. And in healthcare especially, where, as we are saying, empathy and emotions make women doctors much more better than the men folk. Let's not look at just healing as just a treatment, but as we want to make into a more wellness society or a preventive society. Let us see that, as Madam was saying, if some facts like a small thing like anemia can be controlled, we bring about more better children. And as Madam was saying, there are studies which say that malnutrition in our young women is the cause for so many of our diseases, which we see later on, including the very own age-related cataract, which is found to be much more earlier in the Indian population. That relates to the malnutrition which the child encounters being in the womb. So these are a lot of small things which women can make a difference. So where we say that women should not only give priority to others' health, because as she looks after the family, she considers that looking after everybody comes first, and her health takes a step behind. Yes, it's a wonderful thing that as women, we are always caring. But remember that as you give to the society good health, so shall you gain good health by looking after your health. Because as you stay strong, you can give a stronger family, stronger society. So be the change that you want to see by transforming yourself. At the same time, remember that not only it is important to give others, but to give to yourself. So accept and look at your own self-respect, have the courage to stay strong. And when you invest in yourself, you invest in your family's well-being, be it in the economy of your family, be it in the good health of your family. First, if you invest in yourself, you shall bring out a much, much better society. So women normally creates a ripple effect that will benefit society as a whole. Well, to all the young women out there, one last thing I would like to say is, please accept or respect your body as your temple of God. And you young women shall support each other if anything happens to one another. Though we have so many schemes and so many things in the society and at workplaces about POSH. And I myself was a member of the Women Wellness and Women Harassment Society in Rajiv Gandhi, I always say that there may be many policies in place, there may be many acts in place, but as long as women each other support by either what you call the pinky promise, holding each other by your little finger, you shall create such a strong workforce that no man can ever penetrate without your consent. So please remember that as you identify your bodies as your temple of God, you shall keep it as pure as you want, and nobody else, not even your husband, has the right to touch you without your consent. So with these few words, young women, stay strong, inspire yourself, shine on, make the best of every opportunity, and show that you can take care of a lot of good things in society, because you are a wonderful creature of God, and God made women to show that He can create a flawless creation. I think you all know the story that God created man first. Then He looked up and saw that there are some flaws in the man. So let me take a rib from him and create the next creature. And the creature which came out is the most beautiful form of women. And He said, yes, this is my flawless creation, and so shall we all be. Let us do the best for society in taking care of all the good components which a woman should have. But yes, with the support of our fathers, our husbands, or our brothers and children, all taking all of them alongside us and not behind to push us or from front to pull us. Let us ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಂಸಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಡು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ಸಮತೋಲನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನ ಉದ್ಧಾರಿಸೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, I again thank Rajiv Gandhi University for having had me here and giving me the opportunity to be with all of you. One last word. Since the inception of this university, Rajiv Gandhi University has seen only one lady vice chancellor. So in the coming days, let's all hope to make it change as well. Thank you.
ಹೆಣ್ಣೊಂದು ಕಲಿತರೆ ಶಾಲೆಯೊಂದು ತೆರೆದಂತೆ ಎಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸುಜಾತಾ ರಾಥೋಡ್ರವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಹೆಣ್ಣೆಂದರೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಹೆಣ್ಣೆಂದರೆ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ. ಬೆಂಕಿಯ ಬೇಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂದು ನೊಂದರು ಕುಗ್ಗದೆ ಮುನ್ನಡೆದ ಸಹನಾಮೂರ್ತಿ. ತಾನು ಕಂಡ ನೋವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ದಹಿಸುವವರನ್ನು ಸಲಹುವ ಇವರು ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡಿನ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ಗೌರವಾರ್ಥ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರೇಮಾ ಧನ್ರಾಜ್ ಅವರ ಕಿರುಪರಿಚಯವನ್ನು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಯಶಸ್ವಿನಿ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್, ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಯಾಲಜಿ, ಶ್ರೀ ಚಾಮುಂಡೇಶ್ವರಿ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ.
ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವ ಅದ್ಭುತ ಚೇತನ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರೇಮ್ ಧನ್ರಾಜ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುವುದು ನನ್ನ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯ. 8 ವರ್ಷದವರಿದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ನಡೆದ ಭೀಕರ ಅಪಘಾತದಿಂದ ಇವರ ಬದುಕನ್ನೇ ಬದಲಾಯಿತು. ಆದರೆ ಇವರು ಸೋಲಲಿಲ್ಲ. ತಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿಯ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ವಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಿಂದ ಜಯಶಾಲಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೊರಹೊಮ್ಮಿದರು. ಸಿಎಂಸಿ ವೆಳ್ಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ರೋಗಿಯಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದ ಇವರು ಮುಂದೆ ಅದೇ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥೆಯಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಪವಾಡ. ಪದ್ಮಶ್ರೀ ಪಡೆದ ಇವರು ಅಗ್ನಿ ರಕ್ಷಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಮೂಲಕ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಮರುಜೀವನ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 10 ಕಷ್ಟದ ಹಾದಿಯ ಗೆದ್ದು ಬಂದ ಧೀರೆ ನೀವು. ಸಾವಿರಾರು ನೋವ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಸ ಆಸರೆ ನೀವು. ಅಚಲ ನಂಬಿಕೆ, ನಿರಂತರ ಶ್ರಮದ ಸಕಾರ ರೂಪ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಲಿನ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿಯ ಬೆಳಕಿನ ದೀಪ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಯು ಮೇಡಮ್.
Hello.
Dignitaries on the dais, thank you so much for inviting me today. I'm really honored to be on the dais, as you know, with all of you. Just want to say a few words. I actually was, of course, a lot of people have said so much about the women, and I'm very happy. I don't want to repeat it, But I would like to talk about one woman who changed my life, and that's my mother. And, I was a very happy-go-lucky, a small child, 8 years old, was full of joy, and I was thinking I'm going to become a big singer because my parents used to sing, and I had a beautiful voice. And that was our plan. But God had a different plan for me. Very soon, I met with this accident when those days there was no gas stove, it was only a pumping stove. And I poured kerosene, and the next minute, the stove blast and my face was all burnt. And my whole life changed. The whole life changed for my whole family. My thoughts and my parents' thoughts, everything just, in a minute, everything just came crushing down. We were so devastated. And in a month's time, my lip was touching my chest. I had absolutely no neck at all. At this time, my parents decided they'll take me to one of the biggest hospitals, that is Christian Medical College and Hospital, Vellore. I was taken to the operation theatre 3 times, and all the 3 times they could not intubate me because there was no neck. Technology was not good at those days, no fiber optic intubation. And my mother prayed. She said, if you give a new lease to my daughter, I will make her a doctor in CMC Vellore. I was only 4th standard. And I don't know how much my mother believed in me and believed in God, because as if God was just waiting for my mother to say that. Next day morning, when they took me to theatre, surgery was a success and I came out. My mother was fasting and praying the whole day. And when I woke up after 12 hours, she said, you have to become a doctor. And I'm looking at her and saying, what is she saying? Because I had gone through so much of pain in this 12 hours and I really didn't know what she was praying and what she was. But only after I opened my eyes, my mother drank something. And of course, she never said about being a doctor after that. For 3 years, I've had about 28 surgeries. And at the end of 3 years, my mother said, both my parents called me and said, now it's time you go to school. I cried. I said no, because I saw all my relatives looking at me and, funnily, and they'll say, oh my gosh, she looks like this. If I go out, people will say she looks like a devil. And I was shattered. After 1 year, I looked at myself. I was shattered. I was horrified. I cried as if there was no tomorrow for me. And I think my mother was so strong. She said, Prema, this is your face. She said, the earlier you accept, the better for you. She didn't give me a false promise. She didn't say surgeries will be done, you look beautiful, nothing. She said, this is your face, so you better accept it. And then both my parents called me and said, you have to go to school. When I cried, my mother said, I'll give you 2 options. She said, you choose which one you want. Even then, my mother never scolded me. I think that is what made me to stand here today, because there was no force. There's absolutely no force from my parents. My mother said, don't study, don't go to school, stay at home. You will see your brothers and sisters study. They'll come up in life, they'll get married. Their spouses will tell you to cook in the kitchen for them. She said, do you want a life like that? Or you study, you come up in life and you give them money. You're the eldest. She said, which life you want? Of course, obviously, I was crying, and I said, no, I'm going to school. I'd rather go to school than sit in the kitchen and cook for them all my life. So I think I made the good decision because my parents didn't force me. See, nowadays, parents force so much on their children, so much of pressure on the kids, that kids, they rebel because they don't like that force. So I always think I'm so grateful I had such a wonderful mother, because that one day, what she spoke to me changed my whole life. I went to school. Of course, I'll come back, I'll cry on her lap, and I'll say, people called me devil and all that. But my mother said, it's okay, because tomorrow, if you have problem, those fellows will not be there anyway to tell you or to support you. She said, don't worry, listen here, let's go the other year. But you tap your talents and you shine. Don't compare yourself with any beautiful girl, because the minute you start comparing yourself, she said, one, you're insulting your creator, because your creator, God created you the way he wants you. So you are different and another person is different. Your talent is different, another person's talent is different. So stop comparing. And she said, you tap your talent and shine in this world. You know, and that's what I did. And very soon, I sat in the same chair, in the same department as professor and head of plastic surgery in CMC Vellore. And I had only passed 4th standard when I met, but today I have got 10 degrees, 5 from India, 3 from USA, 2 from UK. And I'm so grateful that I could go all over the world, study, teach the students, particularly the African countries, started burn units there. So God has mightily used me. And I think that what God has done to me today, when I look back at his plan, I think his plan is the best plan. Because, you know, we think our plan is best, but no. So please, everybody, I think, you know, wait for your plans. I'm sure if he has brought you into this world, he'll also lead you to the right plan, his plan, and you will fall into the right place. So don't get upset. If you're very upset, sit for some time, think about what you want to do. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't make any decisions when you're really upset, because always they are wrong. Make the right decision. Have a beautiful attitude, because life is only one time. And so you do everything you want to do in this life, because you're not going to get another life. So enjoy your life. And so I thought, now that God has blessed me so much, my cup overfloweth. I'm very content in life, and I've done so much professionally, personally. I thought, what is it that I can give back to the society? Then I thought I should start a burn organization for the burn survivors in Karnataka. So we started Agni Raksha. Agni means fire, Raksha means protection. So we take care of all the burn survivors who come to us. We give them acute treatment, reconstruction, physio, occupation, everything free for them. We operate, we send their alcoholic husbands for de-addiction centers, and we send the children for school. So, and then we give them skill training program. We have tailoring section, we have cake baking unit, cooking, jardosi work, all that. And I'm so happy to see a full unit, the full holistic management of a burn survivor, so that they are so happy. So having given something back to the society, like what my mother gave me, I'm now in a position to give it to all the other burn survivors in this world. And I have just one advice to all of you. Problems will come. There is nobody in this world without a problem, but problem won't stay for long. Please don't give up on life. Don't think negatively. Be positive, believe in yourself, and enjoy life. Be calm. When you're angry, don't shout. Go back, sit somewhere quietly, think what you want to do, and be very, very nice. Family also is very important. Work also is important. And I think women are multitasking women. God has blessed us with that. So just do the best in life. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What people thought and saw you in was devil power. But what you showed to the world is willpower and the woman power. Thank you, madam.
To understand and nurture the seed planted by her mother at that tender age is nothing but a promise made by the truly inspiring woman, Padma Shri Dr. Prema Dhanraj. On this occasion, we would like to salute every mother who lives within us as the hidden inner strength, just waiting to be unveiled. Thank you, madam.
ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿಸಿ ಭಗವಾನ್ ರವರು ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಸಾಧಕಿಯನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಗೌರವಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾಗಿ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಬದ್ಧತೆ ಹಾಗೂ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ 10 ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಶಾಮುಕ್ತ ಭಾರತ್, ನಶಾಮುಕ್ತ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ನಶಾಮುಕ್ತ RGUHS ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ 84,000 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ವಾಕಥಾನ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವ ದೇಶದ ಏಕೈಕ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಏಕೈಕ ಕುಲಪತಿ. ಅವರ ನಾಯಕತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಬಿಸಿ ರವರ ಧರ್ಮಪತ್ನಿಯಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪವಿತ್ರ ಭಗವಾನ್ ರವರು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರನ್ನು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದೀಗ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿರುವ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಬಿಸಿ ಅವರು ಈ ದಿನವನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ತಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇನೆ.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's already late. I won't take much of your time. I'll just, as a presiding authority, I'll just conclude this. First of all, I would like to give my respect to the Additional Chief Secretary, Shri Muhammad Mohsin sir, who is extremely popular for his straightforwardness, administration. He's been guiding as a syndicate member also. He's been guiding the university throughout, and I give my respect to him. And he has spent so much time here. And Dr. Sujata Rathod, Director of Medical Education, Prema Dhanraj, who inspired, I think she commands or needs a big round of applause, a standing ovation from all of you. She spoke so very well, and she really is an inspirational figure. Thank you very much, ma'am, for inspiring such a big crowd. And all our officers on the dais, former Vice Chancellor and my guide, Professor Chandrasekhar Shetty, former Registrar Dr. Vasant Kumar, Senate syndicate members, academic council members, all the teachers and students from different colleges. This gathering was really blessed by all the dignitaries who are achievers on the dais. Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, our ACS and Director of Medical Education, Prema Dhanraj. As all of them have suggested, we all grew up with our own culture and respect for the mother, and now we are being guided by our families, wives and children. I, for one, personally reminded every day to respect my family by my wife and 2 daughters, and I'm truly blessed to have them. And I learned from my family and, of course, my friends and my colleagues all around. And as ma'am rightly put it, you have the double responsibility managing home and the workplace, especially under Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, the colleges, the labs, the institutions and clinics, wherever you work. And we are proud that almost about 40% of our teachers are women. And now, of course, more than 60% of our students are females. According to the statistics that we have, it's a very, very wonderful thing to have so many people coming up and taking the responsibility for the future generation. And I would personally like to see them also as good entrepreneurs, not just as doctors, dentists, medical personnel, paramedical personnel, but also as entrepreneurs, job creators, and innovators and leaders. So my wishes to you all on this occasion. Kindly, few words about empowering women. It begins with protecting their health, ensuring safety, and creating opportunities. And I also request all of you to set your priorities, always learn to balance your priorities. Remember, no one can do everything together, and it creates a lot of pressure and imbalance. Nobody can be a superwoman if you try to, but such things as Superman, Superwoman never exist. You should set up your priorities. When you are helping others, help yourself, and always learn to say no. It's very difficult, but you should make it a point to do that. And also we should learn to let go of things, let go of certain worries and pressures and expectations. We can't live up to everything. At the same time, never give up in your life, as ma'am put it rightly, and all of you must write vision statement for the next 5 years or 10 years for yourself and for your family. And then also, Rajiv Gandhi University has set priorities on the lifestyle, Nasha Mukt Bharat and Organ Pledge. So we request all our students who are here to have a very safe lifestyle, good lifestyle, because the statistics which we are getting, especially about the females between 15 years to 25 years, the NCDs are increasing in the incidence, hypertension, diabetes, pancreatitis, so many diseases. So you need to keep yourself very safe, never stop learning and growing, develop inner confidence and mutual respect for everyone. So with these words, since we are running short of time, I would like to thank all our staff members, the officers who have taken this responsibility to organize a wonderful event today, and especially to Dr. Praveen and Chamundeshwari team who came forward with this noble thoughts. Last year, we had breast screening for all our staff in the university. This year, we have organized bone densitometry program for all our university staff to go through. And we keep respecting you. We keep doing programs for the females. Thank you very much for coordinating and cooperating here. And thanks all the dignitaries on the dais today. Thank you.
ಬೆಳೆಯುವ ಸಿರಿ ಮೊಳಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಬಂತೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸುವುದನ್ನು ಪುಟ್ಟ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಇಡುತ್ತಲೇ ಕಲಿಯಬೇಕೆಂದು ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ ವಿಸಿ ರವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಇಂದು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ನೀಡಿದ ಗಮನಾರ್ಹ ಕೊಡುಗೆಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅವರನ್ನು ವಂದಿಸುವ ದಿನವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಈ ಅಧಿಕೃತ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮುಂದಿನ ಹಂತವಾಗಿ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಭಾಗ್ಯ, ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ RGUHS ಅವರನ್ನು ವಂದನಾರ್ಪಣೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ.
ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿರುವ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು, ಗಣ್ಯರು, ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರು, ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಸಮಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸುವ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಇಂದು ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಲಾದ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ 2026ರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆ ಅರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಅವಕಾಶ ನನಗೆ ಲಭಿಸಿರುವುದು ನನ್ನ ಭಾಗ್ಯನೇ ಸರಿ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಬಿಡುವಿನ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸದ ಒತ್ತಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡುವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ರಜನೀಶ್, ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಇವರಿಗೆ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕದ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಇವರ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೇರಣಾದಾಯಕ ಮಾತುಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಹೊಸ ದಿಕ್ಕನ್ನೇ ನೀಡಿದೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಗೌರವ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಮೊಹಸಿನ್, ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅಪಾರ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಕುಟುಂಬ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಇಲಾಖೆ, ಹಾಗೂ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ BL ಸುಜಾತಾ ರಾಥೋಡ್, ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರು, ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನಿರ್ದೇಶನಾಲಯ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರೇಮ್ ಧನ್ರಾಜ್, ಸರ್ಜನ್, ಪದ್ಮಶ್ರೀ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪುರಸ್ಕೃತರು, ಇವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಇವರ ಅನುಭವದ ಮಾತುಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂದೇಶಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿದಾಯಕವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಗವಾನ್ BC ರವರಿಗೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಕುಲಸಚಿವರಾದ ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ, ಹಣಕಾಸು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು, ನೌಕರರಿಗೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಯಶಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೀಡಿದಂತಹ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮತ್ತು ಬೆಂಬಲಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಸೆನೆಟ್, ಸಿಂಡಿಕೇಟ್, ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ವರ್ಗದವರು ಹಾಗೂ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಕ್ರಿಯ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸುವಿಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣತೆಯನ್ನ ತಂದಿದೆ. ಮಹಿಳೆ ಸಬಲೀಕರಣ, ಸಮಾನತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವ ಎಂಬ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ. ಈ ವಿಶೇಷ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ರೂವಾರಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಯವರಿಗೆ, ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯವನ್ನ ಮನಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ ಎಂದು ಈ ದಿನ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪವನ್ನ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ ನಾನು 2 ಮಾತನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ವಂದನಾರ್ಪಣೆ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಅಧಿಕೃತ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ತೆರೆ ಎಳೆಯಲು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗೀತೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ RGUHS ಮಹಿಳಾ ತಂಡದವರು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತು ಗೌರವ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯಲಿದ್ದು ಗಣ್ಯರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮುಂಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಬೇಕೆಂದು ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮುಂದುವರೆದ ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಆರೋಗ್ಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾನೆಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತಮ್ಮ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ.
I now request all of you to be seated at your same places as we continue with the panel discussion of the day on the topic surviving cervical cancer. I now request our 4 panel discussion speakers, Dr. Tilagavati Ramamurthy, Dr. Abhilasha Narayan, Dr. Nivedita Reshme, and Dr. Matangi J to kindly come onto the stage, and we shall begin the panel discussion in another 1 minute's time. Please be seated. I request all of you to maintain silence in the auditorium, and please be seated. At the onset, I request Dr. Tilagavati Ramamurthy as one of the first speakers of the day to highlight on the burden of cervical cancer, including prevalence, incidence trends, and public health impact. All of you, I request all the students, faculty, staff of Rajiv Gandhi University, as well as all the other affiliated colleges, to kindly be seated. This is a session for about 40 minutes duration. Kindly be seated and maintain silence as we begin our first talk of the day by Dr. Tilagavati Ramamurthy. Requesting one and all to please be seated as we begin the panel discussion now. I request the panelists of the day, Dr. Tilagavati Ramamurthy, Dr. Abhilasha Narayan, Dr. Matangi J, and Dr. Nivedita Reshme to kindly come onto the stage. I now request Dr. Tilagavati Ramamurthy, Scientist C, Indian Council of Medical Research, to highlight on the burden of cervical cancer, including prevalence, incidence trends, and public health impact. I request the audience to remain silent and be a part of this important panel discussion on surviving cervical cancer.
Just start off, otherwise they'll never settle. My slides? My 3 slides.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, thank you for the opportunity to present about the cervical cancer burden in India. So myself, Dr. Tilagavati, I am from Indian Council of Medical Research, and our institute has been recently renamed as National Institute for NCD Epidemiology.
I request all the dignitaries in the front of the dais to kindly maintain silence, please. We are going to begin our panel discussion. Kindly maintain silence. It's a sincere request. Please kindly maintain silence and be a part of this panel discussion. Thank you all.
I request everyone to be seated so that I can begin my session. So HPV is the HPV accounts for major infection-related cancers globally, and especially India contributes to more than 1/4 of these HPV-related cancers. And importantly, the cervical cancers are caused by these HPV types, which is most importantly 16 and 18. And when we talk about the burden of these HPV-related cancers, in India, we have totally 7% of cancers are HPV related, in which out of which 70% are cervical cancer. So this highlights the importance of cervical cancer burden as a public health issue in India. So if you see the leading cancers among women in India, cervical cancer is the second leading cancer, not only in terms of incidence, but also in terms of mortality. Just next to breast cancer, cervical cancer is the second leading cancer. So if we see the state-wise incidence of cervical cancer, there are huge variations across the country. We can see on your right side, what you're seeing is the cervical cancer burden, which is 10 per 1 lakh of women is the incidence across the country. But if we see across the states of India, we could see there are large variations, which is from 1 per 1 lakh of 1 lakh women to 18 per 1 lakh women. There is wide, huge variations, and we could see the incidence is very high in the southern states of the country in terms of incidence. In terms of risk, if we see cervical cancer is the risk is 1 in 83 women are at risk of developing cervical cancer in India, just next to breast cancer. Although if we see it is relatively less compared to breast cancer, still it is very high. It is 1 in 83 women are at the risk of developing cervical cancer. And when we see cervical cancer burden as a whole, including morbidity, mortality, survival, we measure in terms of disability adjusted life years, and the burden is varying across the country, with northeast and central region bears the highest burden. And we could see in terms of states, Mizoram, Arunachal and Karnataka is where the cervical cancer burden is very high. So when we talk about over the period of time, what is the status of cervical cancer in India? Yes, of course, it is encouragingly declining over the period of time. The blue line that you're seeing across the graphs is the cervical cancer, which is declining over the period of time, whereas breast cancer is increasing. And this decline in cervical cancer is attributed to the recent birth cohorts. Like in the recent years, the incidence among the recent birth cohort has been decreased. And in terms of survival, our 5-year survival is 51% overall across the country. And again, it varies from Tripura, 31% of 5-year survival, to Ahmedabad, which is 61% of survival. And this survival is again varying by the stage, where the localized stage patients have higher survival, which is 65%, compared to the distant Mets survival, which is just 18%, which is the 5-year survival. So across globally, where do we stand in terms of survival? We are comparable across the countries, but we have a huge way to reach the other countries. So in terms of staging and treatment patterns, the loco-regional and distant Mets cases are more, which contributes to more than 50% of the burden of cervical cancer, which means that most of our cervical cancers, more than 50% of our cervical cancers, are diagnosed in the late stage. And if we see in terms of treatment, almost all stage patients are getting good radiotherapy and chemotherapy, and surgery is 20% in localized cancers. And there are, apart from, these are the various risk factors of cervical cancer, the first and foremost is the HPV infection, which attributes 80% to 100% of causation to HPV when it comes for cervical cancer. But there are many other factors which are like sexual reproductive factors as well as environmental factors. And there are, I would like to mention about these global strategies to eliminate cervical cancer. Many of us are aware that there are 3 pillars of cervical cancer, which is vaccination, screening, and treatment. And I will tell you very shortly where we are in terms of screening as well as vaccination. But if we vaccinate our girls as per the WHO strategy by in the first year, if we maintain 90% coverage, our elimination of cervical cancer, which is incidence rate of 4 per 1 lakh, is the elimination goal. And we will reach that by 2075 is what the modeling is what statistics says. So this is where we stand, and many of us are aware that vaccination has begun recently in Feb 2026 for the 14-year-old goals. So we have started working towards the cervical cancer elimination goal in terms of vaccination, which is the primary prevention. Whereas in terms of screening, although we have our national level screening program, which is NCD program, like if we see across the country, there are the coverage is very less, which is between 0.2% to 9.8%, and I'm sorry, Karnataka is 0.5%. So we have a long way to go to achieve our screening coverage as well. And so I have been showing you many of the data that about screening, vaccination, incidence, staging, and other things. All these data comes from the National Cancer Registry Program, which has been running in the country for the past 40 years, which collects data across the country on the incidence as well as the staging of cancer, diagnosis of cancer, treatment patterns of various cancers, including cervical cancer, through this network of population-based cancer registries and hospital-based cancer registries. And there are various modalities in which we collect the data with different objectives to cover the population in terms of incidence and mortality, and in terms of clinical details and treatment patterns through the hospital-based cancer registries. And these are some of our publications where we can learn about the burden of cervical cancer in the country. And I would stop here, and I would look forward for the further panel discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the presentation. Before we go further, I'd like to ask the audience a question. After all this one-way talk which we've been having, I'd like to know how many of you all have actually, how many of you all have undergone screening before, pap smear, or have you all even heard of it? How many of you all here in the audience have, how many of you all have taken the HPV vaccine shot? The young girls back there. Have you all heard of it at least? Okay, so we just wanted to have this input from you all so that we can, I mean, at least we should know why we have to take this vaccine and why it is necessary for us to spread this message across. Okay, so many times in our own medical profession, we have so many of our health workers who are not aware of this vaccine and what is the importance of it and the importance of screening. So going further, we have the next speaker who's going to be talking about
May I now invite Dr. Abhilasha Narayan to highlight on the clinical presentation of cervical cancer and early diagnosis, including recognition of early signs and symptom awareness strategies when patients should seek medical attention and appropriate timing for screening initiation.
Next slide, please. Here?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
This one. Yeah. I will not take much of your time. I'll quickly go through my slides. Just to make you aware that cervical cancer is the second most common cancer in women in India, fourth most common cancer in the world. And they say every 8 minutes in India, one woman dies of cervical cancer. When I say one woman, so we are about 50% of the population, so we need to know about it. This was the most common cancer, but now breast has taken over. Breast is the most common cancer all over the world, except Mongolia, I think. All is pink, world is pink. Second is cervical cancer. And why we need to know about it is because WHO tells it as a preventable disease. For cancer, we never use a terminology called prevention. This is the only disease which can be preventable. Why? Because this is caused by a virus. No other cancer, you know the cause. Most of the time, you don't know the cause. This is the only cancer in more than 90% of the cases. In some studies, they say 99% of the cases is caused by this virus called HPV. Because of this, we can do prevention. We can detect early. We can ward off the disease from developing. And even early stage detection because of screening can cure this disease. But still, we are not able to do so. Why? Because lack of education and awareness. Nobody wants to be educated. Nobody wants to be aware. They just want to pat their backs, but they really don't want to know what is really happening. This is the reality check in life, which we need to know. If the men were out here, I would have told them to go and get their wives, their mother, brother, sister, everybody to be screened and vaccinated. So whoever is here, please go home. And I've kept my slides very simple. Please go home and educate all the women and even the men in your family and surroundings. What are the risk factors for cervical cancer? HPV is a sexually transmitted virus. Now, more than 90% of the time, it is sexually transmitted. Rarely we see cancers in women who have never been sexually active. So this only comes in married, sexually active women. So we need to be cautious. So the risk factors will be early intercourse without protection. So condom usage should be promoted. You should teach it to your children, your brother, your sons, everybody. That is one form of best protection you can tell your child. The second thing is local perineal hygiene. And then the other things and all doesn't matter. Smoking, immunodeficiency. No, there is no good evidence to say all these. They are associated factors. They are not causative factors. The only thing which I would tell you here is condom usage and avoid early pregnancy, early sexual intercourse, safe sexual practices, and sexual hygiene also should be good. Why HPV gives us a chance to prevent this disease is when HPV infection infects your cervix, it doesn't cause cancer immediately. 90% of the time, the infection is cleaned by your body. If you have a good hygiene, good sexual practice, good nutrition, 90% of the time, your body will clear off the virus. And especially if you're vaccinated, it helps to clear it much better. And by the time it causes cancer, it can be as late as 15 to 20 years. So you have 15 to 20 years of time to screen yourself or vaccinate yourself. And but except in HIV patients or any immunocompromised patient, it can be as early as 5 years. So you have 15 to 20 years time to screen ourselves, detect it early, and prevent cancer from developing. Because HPV straight away does not cause cancer. It causes some precancerous conditions. And these precancerous conditions, you treat them, you will prevent cancer from developing in the long run. There are no symptoms in early stage.
So don't even think that I don't have symptoms, I will not go for screening. All symptoms will come in late stage. You go to the doctor at late stage, cure rate will come down. Early detection, early treatment, cure rate is very high. So don't ever rely on these symptoms, because these symptoms are there. You can go to the doctor, but never wait for these symptoms to come. Always go voluntarily for screening, even if you are asymptomatic. What are the preventive measures? First is lifestyle modification, which comes through education awareness. Second is screening. Third is vaccination. What are the lifestyle modification, which I already told you? The risk factors which you have to avoid, basically, use condom protection, early vaccination, no early sexual intercourse activity, and safe sexual practice. Why screening? Screening causes early detection of precancerous conditions, which if you treat well, no cancer will develop later. Or if you screen, even if you detected cancer at early stage, it can be treated and cured successfully. There is a lot of controversy of when to screen and how, till what age to screen and what interval to screen. I have 3-4 slides, but I will not confuse you with so many. I'll just put the recent most one, which is accepted by India, which is at par with the world guidelines. That is, you start your screening once you're 25 years of age. In India, probably once you're sexually active. Do it till 65 years. Before, we used to do pap smears once in 3 years. Now they say do only HPV DNA testing once in 5 to 10 years. 5 years, that's all you need to go to your gynecologist. And it is not a painful procedure as you read it on internet. It takes just 5 minutes for a gynecologist or an oncologist to take your sample. Do your HPV DNA testing once in 5 years. Starting from 25, do it till 65 years of age. If HPV DNA test is not available, do just pap smears once in 3 years between this same interval. But in India, probably as a doctor, I take a middle path. I do both PAP and HPV because it gives me more power of knowledge, so that I will be giving a personalized treatment for that patient. Just to tell that we are at par with American Cancer Society, they also preach the same, almost the same. But WHO, these are all based on WHO guidelines only, but WHO recently has changed that. WHO recommends for usually a low resource setting or a middle income setting. So they say that if you do only 2 times screening, once at 35 and once at 45, that itself is sufficient to achieve a goal of eliminating cervical cancer. But all the other recommendations which I told you are standard recommendations, but this also can be applied in a low resource setting when you don't have any facilities. You can just do one screening at 35, one screening at 45. That's it. And they even say that you can stop screening at 55 if your previous 2 screenings were negative. So this is the summary basically. Do your HPV testing every 5 years once. If you're doing a pap smear, do it once in 3 years. And if you're doing a co-test of both pap smear and HPV, you do it once in 5 years. Continue till 65 years of age. This is the WHO global strategy. It has told that it will eliminate cervical cancer by 2030. So the path towards it follows this 90-70-90. That is 90% of the girls should be vaccinated, 70% at least should be screened, 90% should be treated adequately. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for highlighting the importance of screening as well as on the preventive measures of cervical cancer.
I now request Dr. Matangi J to next highlight on the medical and surgical management of cervical cancer, along with the role of imaging in diagnosis and treatment planning.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity for giving us to talk about one of the most needed topics, cervical cancer. Elriku namaskara. Yaryarge nidre barta ide, hasu agta ide? Can you raise your hands at least for that? Yargu hasvagilla? Are you all ready for the talk? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes? 5 minutes. I'll finish it. There's one brave soul there. Thank you so much. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಚಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ MLA MP ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಚರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಗ್ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಚೀವರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಒನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. All these doctors spent their time here all the day to teach you something. There was one test that they talked about, two things. What was the cause for cervical cancer? See, I told you, you are the achievers. Very good, man. Excellent. What was the test for screening? Pap smear. The other test is? So team A is there. Team B. What's the test? HPV DNA test or Pap smear? That's all. The goal of the session is over. I'm just adding masala or spices or closing ceremony of the things. And Nivedita is not. Of course, she is going to do the closing ceremony. She might get angry. So coming back to the next slide. So this is how. One small thing I want to say is the pathetic situation of India. Can you understand? In 1925, imagine it is 100 years before Pap smear was invented. 100 years before, ಒಂದು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆ ಸೈಟಾಲಜಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ 15 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಈ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೋದೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ರೆ ತಡೆ ಕಟ್ಬೋದು. ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಟ್ರೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್, ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಮೀ. ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಫ್ರಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್. ಹೆಂಗೋ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಯಾಪ್ ಸ್ಮಿಯರ್. It was detected 1925. 2025, still we are saying, what is the name of the test? Have you got vaccinated? This is how our situation is. And this is the crowd we meet with when we are talking about the awareness sessions. They are not interested. Adike en gotta? Everybody thinks this will not happen to me. Cancer ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ, ಬರಬಹುದು. Not multiple sexual partners, not promiscuous activity. ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪೂಜಾನ, ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹರ್ ನೇಮ್, ಒನ್ಲಿ ಅಪಾನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಸಿನೋಮಾ ಸರ್ವಿಕ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್, a single partner sexual life can also lead to HPV virus. Please don't tag people with carcinoma cervix that this person should have had promiscuous activity, multiple sexual partners. Stop that there. Even a single sexual partner, a normal lady can always get it because, and girls, what was that highlight thing that was she was telling? Early sexual life. When does it start? Teenage sexual life. You don't need marriage for that. A woman knows when her sexual life has started. That's why guidelines don't say 30 ಇಂದು 25 ಇಂದು 20 ಇಂದಲ್ಲ. 3 ವರ್ಷ ಸಂಸಾರ ಜೀವನ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ you have to start. You might have got HPV infection would have happened and 3 years to get settled there. So there is no specific age for any specifications. You know when you have started your sexual life. If it is going to be teenage sex, you are not protected well. You don't know even how to protect you. That's why you have to talk to your girls about this. And still we are at high risk. Okay? So please kindly listen to what we are talking. This is very, very important. And the second thing, so many people have dedicated their lives over a period of life to how to improvise. Eshtu bega madana, eshtu easy age madana. Please eshtu girls na reach madana. Everybody is. When I went for Times Power Awards, they were only talking about breast cancer. How to not touch the lady and do breast cancer awareness ante. Because I don't want to somebody to examine me. Atara thermal scanning heng madodu. I'm just saying, boss, cervical cancer endu India is contributing more than 40 to 50% of death in the world. It's not about the incidence, it is about the death. How many people are dying in spite of, because gotte illa avrge. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬರುವಾಗನೇ 3rd stage, 4th stage ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. And what is the irony of the situation? The message of the day? Carcinoma cervix is completely preventable and completely curable. What happens? Many of the things. So the next slide, staging has changed. ಹಳೆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲಟ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಅಲ್ಟ್ರಾಸೌಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಚೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನೋ, you have to do MRI. Don't do ultrasound or CT scan. Even if it is not available, please kindly stage them properly. MRI ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂಸಸ್. ಪ್ರತಿ ಲೇಡಿನೂ ಒಳಗೆ ಚೆಕಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಿ. If the doctor is not examining, if you have a complaint, don't ask for only tablets or for just an ultrasound and give you tablets. Please allow the doctor to internally examine you. And that is how, and from there, do the investigations properly, and then allow them to put a knife on you, because most of the time the knife may not be needed. Fortunately, luckily, if you're early stage, then probably you have to have a surgery. So the local examination is the foremost important thing. ಒಳಗೆ ಕೈ ಇಟ್ಟು ಚೆಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್? ನೋ ಅಲ್ಟ್ರಾಸೌಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್, ನಾಟ್ ಎನಿಮೋರ್. MRI ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. CT ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನು MRI ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವಾಗನೇ ನನಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನು ಸರಿ, ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನು ಸರಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ? ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಇತ್ತು, ನಾನು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ನೀವು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 40% ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್. ಸೊ when we are going for only distant metastasis, you can do a whole body CT or a PET CT depending on the availability and the affordability. So the next thing is, there is clear cut guidelines. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಸರ್ವಿಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾರು ಏನು ಓದ್ಬೇಡ, ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಪೇಪರ್ ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ರೋಬೋಟಿಕ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಹೈ ಎಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಒಪ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತೆಗೀರಿ. ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಹೋಲಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಹೈ. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಸೆಂಟರ್, ಇವರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಲಕ್ಷ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ಎಸ್ಗೋ ವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫೈ. ನಾಟ್ ಎನಿ ಸರ್ಟಿಫೈಡ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಡೂ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿಕ್ ಸರ್ಜರೀಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಒಂದು ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಶುರು ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ತನಕ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೀಟೇಲ್. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ, for a success of treatment, cervical cancer, you have to look into each and every detail. They have clear cut given the guidelines. So when you follow the guidelines, you had the surgery. Unfortunately, ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, there are multiple indications. ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಬೇರ್ಗಳ ತರ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ತರ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಕೀಮೋಥೆರಪಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವಿಷಯ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಮೇನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇವತ್ತು. ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೋಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ 4 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆತರ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕರಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಕರಲಿಂದ ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಖರ್ಚು, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಖರ್ಚು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕು, ಇದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯುಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಂಫ್ ನೋಡ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. SLNV ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಡೈ ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹರಡಿದ್ಯಾ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ರೇನೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಹರಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬನ್ನಿ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ನ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಂದ್ಸತೆ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು 30-40 ವರ್ಷ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. The quality of life is also important. So how you are going to take care of these things? So there are further guidelines. ಯಾವಾಗನೋ ಒಳಗೇನೋ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆಚೆಯಿಂದನೂ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಒಳಗೆ ಎಂದು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಹೈ ಎಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್, ಹೈ ಎಂಡ್ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ it is not approved internationally. There is no high-end machine that can replace regular techniques. So ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹರಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇದೇಪಾ, ಇಮ್ಯುನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಇದೆ, ಕೀಮೋಥೆರಪಿ ಇದೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇಮ್ಯುನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಇದೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇಮ್ಯುನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಇದೆ. ಲಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವೇ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಸರಿ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಆದ್ರೇನು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅದು ಒಂದೇ. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ತಡೆಗಟ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆನ್ಕಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಬರದೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆದರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. That is the important request. I think the session was made, and I hope the message reaches everybody. And thank you, sincere thanks. Cervical cancer, we can do a lot. Breast cancer is for rich people, cervical cancer is for rural people. Let us give little attention and prevent these illiterate rural women who don't have much affordability or accessibility. Ishtondu ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. One small request. Do you all have mobiles? Yes, ma'am. Do you all have mobiles? Backbenchers? Ministers? Yes, you have. Can you all share in your status? Pap smear or cervical cancer is completely preventable. Use social media for something useful. Okay? The only test is, if it is simple, pap smear. If you have money, HPV DNA. If it is pap smear, once in 3 years. If it is HPV DNA, once in 5 years. Totally overall message is, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಮಾತಂಗಿ ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾ ಬೇಡವಾ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೈನಕಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಾಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. You need to have pap smear or HPV DNA testing. Thank you for patient listening.
Thank you, Dr. Matangi J, for asserting the importance of screening as well as getting tested, as well as getting treated in a proper manner for cervical cancer.
Finally, I would like to invite Dr. Nivedita Reshme to highlight on the latest development in cervical cancer management and HPV vaccination, including recent recommendation and preventive strategies.
Thank you. Good afternoon, one and all. I feel like I'm the last batsman standing here, and I feel I'm here for the vote of thanks. Thanks to all the speakers. They've already summarized whatever I'm supposed to be speaking. Thanks to the audience here who are sitting and still listening and waiting for something new to happen. So let's just start off. Actually, I think I can just run through my slides because most of them have already, most of the speakers have covered everything which I had to cover. So can I have the control, the slides? Can I? Oh, this one. Okay, this play one. Okay. So incidents already ma'am has covered, so I won't be dealing with this. The WHO elimination strategy, I think she's also covered this, but we should know that 90% of the girls need to be vaccinated by the age of 15, 70% women screened by the age of 35 and 45 years, and 90% women with disease treated. And I feel the lack of interest which we are showing now to listen to this is because we personally haven't experienced it or seen somebody going through that process, somebody who has cervical cancer. So like madam spoke about her incidents where she had met with an accident at the age of 8 and how she went through all that pain. I think that is what made her passionate about her subject, and that's why she took up plastic surgery. So let's not go through that phase where we have to go through that process and then become aware of this. Okay, so I think we need to know a little few things which we can do at our own level at a preventable stage. The etiology, I'm not going to be dealing with this because it's already been spoken about. But yes, we need to know that it's the HPV vaccine, which is preventable, which is the cause for 90% of the cancers. But yes, you could have cancers without HPV as well, which is quite a few in number. But and the vaccines which are there, the HPV vaccine, it is not just for cervical cancer. It is also for other anogenital cancers like the vaginal, vulval, and penile cancers, anal cancers, oropharyngeal cancers, and genital warts. This is also important to consider. I mean, this is important considering that it is also a gender neutral vaccine now. And we have various types of vaccines, which is the bivalent, quadrivalent, and the monovalent vaccines. So if you ever approach a gynecologist, they may just talk about the Indian vaccines. You should also know that there is a monovalent vaccine, which is the Gardasil 9, and which costs around 9,000 to 10,000. I'm sure you all can afford 1 or 2 doses of it. So I think that would be better because it covers a wide range of HPV DNA types. And in pregnancy, suppose somebody has taken the vaccine, and if she gets to know that she has conceived, there is nothing she needs to do about it. She can go ahead and resume the thing after her delivery, okay? And she need not terminate the pregnancy for that reason. Immunocompromised person should follow a strict schedule as per the standard guidelines. The vaccine is found to be safe. There is nothing to really worry about. There may be some adverse events, but that is just like any other vaccine which we take. I'm sure we've taken a lot of vaccines through our childhood, and it should just be like any other vaccine. The primary target age group is obviously for children who are pre-teens between the age of 11 to 12 years before exposure to HPV. That is before they start their sexual activity. And this is the standard guidelines, which is 2-dose schedule, dose starting, and which is to be taken for girls less than 15 years. It is 2 doses, and after 15 years, it is 3 doses. However, there are the updates which have come. Catch-up vaccination for individuals who have missed vaccination, they can complete it before the age of 26 if they have not taken it earlier. And for adults above the age of 45 years, if you all are considering it, it is not really recommended. So we've already heard about this, that India is doing a lot of rolling out nationwide HPV vaccination as per public immunization efforts to target the pre-screen and adolescent girls. So they are targeting the girls in the age group of 9 to 14, specifically the 14-year-old girls. And we know that it has already been launched by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 28th of February 2026. And it is available, it's a historic milestone in cervical cancer prevention. And it focuses mainly on the 14-year-old girls. They can, they get the Gardasil 4 vaccine, which is a quadrivalent vaccine, which covers the 4 types of viruses. And it's a single dose schedule. And it is also recorded on the UN platform to keep a track of all the people who are vaccinated. This is just like a COVID vaccine. I'm sure all of you all have a fear for COVID, right? So you all can also be aware of the cervical cancer vaccine and go ahead and take it. And yes, it's available across various centers. And it's a mission mode thing. It is available for the first 3 months. It is for a rapid coverage as a routine immunization. And then later it would be under comfortable setting. AI assisted colposcopy is coming a large way, so that is going to help in mobile based VIA interpretation. So many times you're doing a test and you're not sure as to how to interpret it, so AI is going to be helping you with that. And there are various the tests which are available for this HPV testing, which is the DNA PCR test, the mRNA test, which detects the E6 and E7 expression, higher specificity because it's going to tell you the actual infection rate, extended genotyping, which includes 31, 33, 45, 52, which are the non-high risk type groups as well. So, these are the high risk, but in that 16, 18 is the ones which we were focusing on. So we have the extended genotype, which tests for 31, 33 and the other types. And the self-sampling, obviously, I've already spoken about. And yeah, these are the various tests which are there. Madam has already spoken about it, so I'm not going to be dealing with it in detail. And these are available. So you'll have to ask your gynecologist or oncologist if they have this HPV DNA testing available with them at that point, because in many centers, for that matter, in our own hospital, the teaching hospital doesn't have this facility. We are doing the conventional cytology, but in our memorial hospital, that is the corporate hospital, we have the HPV DNA testing, which is happening. So you have to put in a few efforts and make sure that it is practiced in your own institute. So rural and public health, you have the CARE HPV and the VIA testing, which is still being followed. Urban hospitals, they have progressed further and doing the PCR tests and the genotyping and the mRNA tests. These are the guidelines which I wouldn't be going through again because Madam has already spoken about it. And yes, the FOXY guidelines are important. Self-collection HPV testing is now recognized as an acceptable screening approach for average risk women, especially in the age group of 30 to 65. The recommendation she has already spoken about, mainly start at the age of 25, if not possible, at least at the age of 30. At that age of 30, you can start off with directly the core testing, which is the HPV DNA as well as the cytology, and you can extend the interval. For after one test, you can wait for 5 years, go in for the second test. If not worst scenario, at least 2 tests in your lifetime at the age of 35 and 45, that would hold good as well. And after hysterectomy, what do you do? Suppose you've undergone hysterectomy for a benign cause, something like a fibroid or thing. Do you still have to undergo the screening? No, if it is done for a benign cause, you need not. You can stop at that. For immunocompromised women, it's a very strict screening protocol because they are more prone for it. And so they'll have to follow the schedule which is recommended. And good resource setting, it's again the summary of the same. Low resource setting, maybe they have to follow the conventional cytology or the VIA testing as well, which is done every 3 to 5 years. And in our setting, it is the HPV DNA testing which needs to be implemented. So what do we do after that? So what do you do if there is a positive test? So most of us have been speaking about the test. So what do we do? So HPV DNA positive, there is a triaging which is done, which is the VIA cytology HPV genotype, because you know that it is positive, but you don't know where to, how do we locate the lesion? You just can't, you cannot go through it through, you can't sometimes make out through a naked eye. So you have to do these various tests which are available is the VIA cytology or the HPV genotyping, which you can do. And if they are eligible for treatment, then and there you can do the treatment, because once they come for you, especially a few people who are coming from the village areas, they go through a lot of struggle to even travel all the way there and undergo screening even once. So once they approach you, and if you're able to screen and treat them in the same sitting, it would be really beneficial for them. So for them, you have this thing where if they come under the eligibility criteria, they can go in for cryotherapy, thermal ablation, or the LEAP, and further follow-up is still fine. Okay. And there are other techniques like the LEAP and cold knife thing, but I'm not going to be talking about this now. The key takeaway is that primary testing is the HPV DNA. VIA is still being practiced. We need to move on to the HPV DNA testing. Self-sampling, I've already told. Fertility sparing options are coming up big time now, especially for the young girls who are developing cervical cancer. If they still want to conceive, there are options like the minimal invasive techniques, the expanded indications like conization, radical trachelectomy, considering the stage of the cervical cancer. The ongoing trials for neoadjuvant chemo and fertility preservation is still there. The sentinel node sampling, which is mapping, which is going to make the surgery less aggressive. There is also de-escalation of surgery which is being done, which is the simple hysterectomy is sufficient for especially FIGO stage 1A, 2 and 1B1, which is good, which is for tumors less than 2 centimeters of size. So we need not go in for a radical approach, radical surgeries, because as you all know, I'm not sure, radical hysterectomy comes with its own set of complications. Then the LACC trial spoke about the approach with the minimal access surgeries. All the speakers are staring at me because I'm really going out of thing, but I'm supposed to be speaking about the updates which are there. At least if you all have relatives who you all are taking or approaching a doctor to with cervical cancer, you all can know that these options are there. This is why I'm trying to mention these things. So there are options where they can go in for a less radical surgery. And laparoscopy is not still approved, but there are ongoing debates. Concurrent chemoradiation remains standard. Madam is an expert in it. And obviously, there are newer techniques which are coming in, image-guided brachytherapy and adaptive radiotherapy. That is basically that the radiotherapy is given to that particular targeted area and it is not diffused, so to avoid the side effects. And immunotherapy is coming up a big way. So even people with stage 3 and 4 diseases are also being treated and they're doing well with immunotherapy. So pembrolizumab, ma'am has already spoken about, has come as a new thing and it is actually showing results. Antibody drug conjugates like tisotumab, vedotin, and all are the upcoming things. Combination of chemo and immunotherapy is something which is new second line options, palliative care integration, all this is coming up a big way. So one thing is be aware of the HPV thing, safe sexual practice, screen and treat approach. And these are the challenges, obviously. Future directions, therapeutic HPV vaccines. We have vaccines to prevent the HPV infection, but we don't have things to treat them. So we are coming, I mean, the research is on. Liquid biopsy research, expanded AI integration. These are the future directions. And this is the stepwise management of cervical cancer in a gist. Vaccination is the primary prevention. HPV testing is the future of screening. To summarize, immunotherapy, changing advanced disease outcomes. Cervical cancer treatment is rapidly evolving with immunotherapy integration, surgical de-escalation, AI-driven diagnostics, and self-sampling screening, moving towards a more personalized and less invasive approach. Yes, so finally, together, we are tougher than cancer. Thank you. Thank you for your patient hearing.
Yeah, now we open for the panel discussion. You all can prepare 1 or 2 questions if you want to ask to the speakers anything about cervical cancer, as well as Dr. Nivedita Reshme will be moderating the whole session with our 4 speakers. Thank you.
I would like to first thank all the 4 speakers. ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ತುಂಬಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡವ್ರು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಜ್ಞಾನ ತುಂಬಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Madam, if 500 people are there and about 10% are just listening and only others here, I think today what we see is all those who are sitting here, they want to acquire some knowledge, understand something. And these are the people who will be brand ambassadors for you when you say that prevention is the one we have to look for rather than go for the treatment. And I would like to clarify a few things on behalf of the audience. What are the myths and truths about the HPV vaccine? Suppose if the government supply is not readily available, then what is the cost of the HPV vaccine? Because in social media, there are many things coming regarding the vaccine. As previously, even the speaker told, once anything comes, all negative will also come. Till the vaccine was announced that it will be given, nothing came. Only after it was announced, there were many things coming against it.
There is a myth for every vaccine. It was there for COVID. It was there for polio. So polio, after being eradicated also, we have myths around it. So I won't be able to cure it in minds of people by today by telling that HPV vaccine is exclusively curative and preventive. We have to somewhere believe and trust the studies and trials which have gone around. Cervical cancer is coming down, whether because of screening or vaccination or because of surgeries, we don't know. But somewhere we have to trust and believe all these studies which are going on. Like we eradicated polio, we are hoping to eradicate cervical cancer because it is a virus. And all the studies have shown decreased precancerous conditions in their studies, increased antibody levels for HPV. So if precancerous conditions comes down, definitely in the long run, cancer will come down. The vaccine is there around only few years, maybe 15, 16 years down the lane. Cancer can develop even 20 or 25 years later. So you need such a long-term study for me to really reassure you whether it will bring down cancer. But all the recent studies have shown that antibody to the virus is very high level. Precancerous conditions have come down, and in countries who have vaccinated, they are eradicating. We are still thinking about bringing down, downstaging the disease. Some countries like Australia and all are towards their success in eliminating. India is not even towards it. So I think we should see the positive aspect and not create or weave myths around it.
There was one doubt about infertility with respect to the vaccine. Anything about it, ma'am?
No, vaccine has never created infertility. Vaccine is going to only create antibodies against human papilloma virus, not against your cervix or uterus. So antibodies are against only the virus. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ರಾ? ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಗಿಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ, ಬಾಡಿ ಏನು ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ your uterus, your ovaries or your cervix, everything will be preserved. You are only creating antibodies so that it's not that you will not get infected with HPV. Please kindly understand, HPV idde irutte, but nimge heng covid vaccine hakonda admele no, you can get covid infection, but it is not going to be serious. Similarly, the HPV will not give its DNA to you so that it doesn't become cancerous. That is the intention. That is one thing. Second thing is HPV has different types of vaccination. The HPV vaccine is, first they started with only two strains, 16 and 18. And admele it became 4 strains. Now we have 9 strains. That is why it is called 9 variant strains. So ashtanka the cost was also getting increased. 2 strains andre 2000 ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, 4 strains andre 4000, 9 strains andre 9000 rupees to 10,000 rupees per dose ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. But the thing is, what is the point? 2 strains, 4 strains, 9 strains andre 2 strains andre it was only creating antibodies, but right now increased spectrum 9 strains include ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ antibody production ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 75% to 90%. ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? 90%. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ 100%. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೆಡಿಬಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ 4 ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ, ಈ ಕೇರಳ, ತಮಿಳುನಾಡು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಎಂದು ನೀವು ಬರೀ 16, 18, 6, 11 ನಂಬರ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಾವು 32, 35, 45, 48 ಏನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಆ ತರ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. HPV ವೇರಿಯಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. But the concept is, ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೀವು ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ that antibody probably can act against all the variants. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಮ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಇಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ನಂಬರ್ 1. ನಂಬರ್ 2, ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೇನು ಪ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ಮಿಯರ್ ಆರ್ ಇದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಮರ್ತೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ನಾನು ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ನನಗೆ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, 100% ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವ ಮೇಡಮು ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ತರ ಬಾಡಿ ಪೇನ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂದು ಡೋಲೋ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. 15 ವಯಸ್ಸು. ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇವಾಗ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋರೇ ಬಂದು ನನಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸಂಸಾರ ಜೀವನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಂಸಾರ ಜೀವನದಿಂದ HPV ವೈರಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ನೀವು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಇನ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ವೇರ್ teenage sex is very common, they educate you to have it earlier. That's 9 years, 11 years ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ. ನಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ if you have not started sexual life, it will be very useful for you to produce antibodies. But you have already started your sexual life, we don't know whether you are already infected. So the coverage comes down to 50%. Nobody says 0% because still antibodies are produced. Third point is, but when you have it in younger age, your antibody producing capacity of your body is far better. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 13 ವಯಸ್ಸಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್, 30 ವಯಸ್ಸಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ HPV DNA or pap smear. Message ಇಷ್ಟೇ. Thank you so much for patient listening. Any other questions? Please raise your hands. ಊಟ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ madam, please. Thank you. 50 ಅಮ್ಮ, 50 ವಯಸ್ಸಾ? ಇವಾಗನೇ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮುಗಿಸಿದೆ ಅಮ್ಮ. 45 ತನಕನೇ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಒಂದು ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ಯಾಪ್ ಸ್ಮೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್. Vaccination overall all over the world is recommended only till 26. 45 in India they've extended. But ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. HPV ವೈರಸ್ ಬಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ 50-50 ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಇರದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ till 45 in India we're extending. That's all. It is not according to international guidelines. But the protection is 50-50. It is not 50%. 50-50. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. So instead, what are you going to do at 50 years? Go and get examined, internally examination, pap smear or HPV DNA testing. Thank you. ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ. HPV ವೈರಸ್ ಎಂದು ಮೆನ್ ಆರ್ ವಿಮೆನ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೆಟ್ 6 different cancers. We are only talking about cervical cancer. You can get 6 different cancers. ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೋದು, oropharynx, and then we have penile cancers, and then we have vulval cancers, vaginal cancers, ಆ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಮ್ಯುನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಮಿತ್ ಇದೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ HPV ವೈರಸ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗೂ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ಗೆನೆ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ HPV ವೈರಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ HPV ವೈರಸ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಇಂದ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಇಂದು. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟು ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಟ್ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅ ಮಿತ್. ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ಗೆ our cancers, again penile cancers and anal canal cancers and oropharyngeal cancers. But for women, we have vaginal cancers, vulvar cancers and anal cancers and all those things, again for women. Boys ku ide, girls ku ide.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಏನು 14 years ಬಿಲೋ ಈಗ HPV ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಏನೋ ರೂಮರ್ ಹಚ್ತಿದ್ರೆ, ಅದು ಸುಳ್ಳ ಸತ್ಯನ?
ಅಮ್ಮ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಅಮ್ಮ. ಅದು HPV vaccination is creating antibodies against HPV virus. It is not there to destroy your uterus or ovary or cervix. ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿನೇ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಕನ್ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ಅದೇ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ಮಿತ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಭಯ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಎದುರ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ.
ನಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳಿಗೆ.
ಅವರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ.
Actually, we had a session recently where a speaker, they've made videos where they are speaking about the women who have conceived and have children who have taken vaccine in the past. So there is a documentation, there are videos to prove that it has no effect on fertility as such.
ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮಾ, ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಲಾಜಿಕ್, ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಜಿಕ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮಿತ್ಸ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ನೈಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಟು ಅಸ್. ಸಿನ್ಸಿಯರ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಯು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Yes ma'am.
14 years. Somehow we have missed. Second line doses, it's shown that 15 to 25 years. What is the efficacy between period, ma'am? 9 to 14 years, one dose it was given.
No.
Beginning.
15 years ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇದ್ರೆ 2 ಡೋಸ್ ಸಾಕು. 15 years ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಬೂಸ್ಟರ್ ಡೋಸ್ ಬೇಕು.
We have missed. Next we are in the line of second. After 15 years to up to 25 years. What's the great difference between?
Exactly. My point, what I said is, less than 15 years, your capacity of producing antibodies and keeping it in memory is very, very good. But after 15 years, your capacity to creating antibodies and memory, it is lesser than your childhood. Adike, all vaccinations are prescribed in your childhood age. Chikka vayasali hakidre long lasting effect because it goes into your memory line. But after 15 years, the antibody productions kadme aagta irodinda, you give a booster dose. Adike 3 dose. Yes.
We'll have a mixture of doses also. Suppose you have taken Gardasil 4 before, and if you want to, you can even mix the dose and take Gardasil 9. It is not a complete contraindication.
ಹಲೋ, ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳಿಗೆ 9th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇರುವಾಗ 2 ಡೋಸೇಜ್ 6 ಮಂತ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ?
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಸಾಕು. ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು. ಅ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಮ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Ma'am, good afternoon. What is the cost of this HPV vaccine?
What is the cost? I had already described it. If it's 4 strain, it is around commercial thing I'm talking. I'm not talking about government vaccines. Government vaccines are yet to be available everywhere. If it comes, then it will be free in all the government hospitals and probably at a very low cost in private hospitals.
2,200, 2,400 is the Cervivac vaccine which is there, roughly what I know. And Gardasil 4 is around 2,500 to 3,000.
4,000. 2 strains. Cervivac is, no, Cervivac is 2 strains. 2,000 rupees. Gardasil 4 is 4,000 rupees. Gardasil 9 is 9,000 rupees.
We are getting it at the cost of 2,800 in our hospital.
Probably in the government hospitals and government medical colleges, you will get at a little lesser cost.
Gardasil 9 is around 9,000 to 10,000.
That is there, fixed.
Fixed almost.
Right.
Children, madam, in the
Yes, sir.
school children age.
Sure, true, sir. That is the part, sir. Or developed countries ಹೆಂಗ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು immunization program ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, all of you get vaccinated, no? With that only they put HPV vaccine. It is not like they are not asking you to put. It is a part of immunization schedule. That's how our government is trying to put that as a part of immunization schedule. If it comes, then obviously we are going to be matching the developed countries. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shall we disperse? ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
I think there have been more questions from the
Any more
audience
questions?
and the panel questions. So
Any more questions from you?
I think it is true.
Do you have any more questions from the
HPV
audience?
vaccine? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ.
You have one question. She has one question. We'll take that question and then maybe we can
Question
conclude
to
the ceremony.
first speaker, I think Telagavadi ma'am. No, ma'am. In your slides, I have seen that in India, South Party is highly grown up in technology and healthcare sector, but alas, we are having more incidence rate. As in the epidemiological study, what you have found? What was the reason? Even Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, it's been observed.
So the burden is attributed not only to many factors. One is the risk factors like HPV.
Apart from
prevalence,
that, in
and the
politically
diagnosis, screening.
Yes.
So it is attributed to many factors like screening. Screening is good in south states compared to the other regions of the country. Even diagnosis is good compared to other regions of the country. So other biological reasons or not?
No, I think it is more of you have a good registry in South India, so it is documented well. North India, you don't have a very good registry. That is why you are missing it. Whole of Southeast Asia, Africa and all, we have a very high incidence. I don't think so. We should attribute a minimal biological variation.
One last question for Dr. Abhilasha. What is the impact of self-sampling on early detection? What is your take on that, ma'am?
If you are doing a self-sampling, you should do it once in 3 years only, not once in 5 years. And it depends on your comfort level. If you are not comfortable, other doctors doing your pelvic examination, it is very easy if you do it at home. And there's also a novel method, but not yet validated, where you just you get a sticker. Basically you can stick it to your pad, and the menstrual blood HPV testing they are doing, you stick it to the pad and then remove it. Once it is soaked with menstrual blood, you remove it, put it in a packet and send it to the lab. They will check HPV in your menstrual blood. Self-sampling is you have to put a device inside and take a smear. Here they are checking only in your menstrual blood. It's a new thing. Maybe it is more easier than self-sampling, but it needs validation. It is still in its pilot study. Probably at that time, every woman will be comfortable doing it. I think so.
Thank you.
Yeah. With this, we come to the end of the panel discussion on surviving cervical cancer. I would like to say that I can't thank all these 4 speakers enough from the bottom of my heart, because we postponed this event several times, and despite of that, they were very enthusiastic to be part of this event, because this shows their dedication to spread the awareness of cervical cancer to one and all present here and to the world via the live Facebook live that's going, I think. Yeah. At the end, I, Dr. Kirtana Kunikulaya, Associate Professor, Department of Physiology, and
Hi, Dr. Kriti VN, Associate Professor, Department of Biochemistry from Sri Chamundeshwari Medical College. We wholeheartedly thank each one of you present here, even though it is lunchtime, you are here, and we had a great interactive session with all the 4 speakers. I thank the Rajiv Gandhi University for giving us this opportunity, and also I thank all the 4 speakers for their excellent speech. And also I would like to thank our Principal Praveen Jiu sir for organizing this event, and also I thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Bhagavan BC sir for giving us the opportunity.
And I have to mention the contribution of Dr. Deepa, Dr. Yashaswini, Dr. Akshata, and Dr. Maitri, as well as our whole team from Sri Chamundeshwari Medical College to make this event successful. Thank you, everyone.
I'd like to thank Kirtana ma'am for having invited us here and for sending us repeated messages about the postponement and again, bearing with us and our questions. Thank you.